just in life. To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
All right. So it's Wednesday night. We never do Wednesday nights. What's happening? Well, we couldn't do last night because, I don't know, problems and stuff, and we just couldn't do it. So we're doing the makeup stream for tonight. This is, of course, news, a news show. We look at lots of news and politics and stuff. Look at all that. Look at all this stuff we're going to go over. But also, we're a boating show as well. Also, we're a beer drinking show, and also a fence climbing show, and also a fixing your knife when you hit it with a stick for some reason, and the handle broke off show as well. So we're all kinds of shows, but it's mainly, we just come to the instructional videos when we need a break from all of the news, because it gets heavy. You know what it's like these days. All right, so what are we doing? Well, we're streaming on Rumble, also on YouTube, on Locals, and on X as well. So we're streaming on all of those together, and we're going to keep doing that. We'll probably cut off YouTube after like an hour or something. We'll see how it goes. If we get enough people on there, maybe we'll hang around. But channel updates. So I'm going to be getting into this. They got this new partner program with Rumble. So you need to have, and it's going to start next month. So you got to, in this month, you got to have 30 hours of streaming. And I think I normally do over 30 hours pretty easily of streaming, but 5 of those hours have got to be for premium members only, Rumble premium members only. And I don't even know how to do that. I guess I'll have to figure it out, but I'll have to do 5 hours of streaming that's just for premium members, premium users on Rumble. So I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll do some live streaming. Maybe I'll redo the, maybe I'll live stream the, maybe I will live stream the Alex Jones video game again. I did that like a year ago, and it was really fun. But maybe we'll do that again. Maybe I'll live stream some games. I don't know. I got to make up 5 hours of premium only, which means there'll be less people on the stream. Maybe we'll just do a Ask Me Anything, and you guys can just come up with stuff you want to research, and we'll take a look into it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You guys can tell me what you want to do. But anyway, here we are in a very special Wednesday night stream. We don't normally do it on Wednesday. It's normally Friday night, Sunday night, Tuesday night, but I couldn't do it on Tuesday night. And I don't really even feel like doing it tonight either. I still don't feel that great, but here I am because I got to make up the time. We got to get those hours in so I can join this partner program on Rumble. So here we are. Nevada, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, what the fuck? Well, I just explained it. We'll have to figure out a good night to do the premium only streams as well, because we'll keep the other ones the same. That's good rant juice. Yeah, we'll keep the Friday, Sunday, Tuesday night ones the same, and then we'll have to come up with a couple of nights to rip out 5 hours of premium only content. That's on Rumble. All right. So yeah, nobody really knows that we're going tonight. This is kind of a surprise, so it'll probably take a little while for everybody to find us. What are you guys thinking? Tell me what you're thinking in the chat. We'll wait for everybody to show up. What's going on? What's going on with you, Nevada? How's your day been? The hell's going on? Let me check the X one and see if anybody's watching over there. I don't know. I can't tell. It doesn't really tell me. But I did test out the chat. I'm going to test out the chat over on X again and see if it comes up with the stream. And I don't think it does, because it does not seem to be integrated with the Rumble Studio the way that YouTube is. So I don't know. I guess that just doesn't work. And I'll keep checking over on the X chat just to see if anybody's chatting over there. I'm not even really sure how many people watches over there. We'll have to see. Nevada says, I was looking for you last night, and then I see you tonight. I did put out a note on X that I wasn't going to be going live, but not everybody's on there, so I think Rosie saw it, maybe a couple other people, but I just couldn't do it last night. I had to call it off, and I felt bad, but what are you going to do? Well, how about this? Nevada says, I had Costco come pick up their piece of shit bed I bought 3 months ago. It was killing my back. Well, good. But I mean, if you're buying a bed from Costco, I mean, you're kind of taking, it's like buying a bed off Temu. You're kind of taking a risk there. It's like buying anything that you expect to work or be of value at all on Temu. So, you know how that goes. Oh, well, hope you get a new one. Did you? Well, I guess you must have gotten a new one. It was a Sealy, and it was still a piece of crap. Well, Sealy's are good. Well, I don't know, man. I guess, I don't know. It's the best one they had at Costco, too. I didn't know they sold beds at Costco. All right. Well, I don't know what to tell you then. I mean, Sealy's are good. That should be good. Are you sure it was actually a Sealy, like a real one? It wasn't like an Seely? Well, it says I have to go find a new one tomorrow. Well, good luck with that. I actually ordered my bed off of the internet, off of Amazon, and king size, and it came in like just wrapped up like a carpet. And then you cut it open, and then it just inflated into like this big bed. It was fantastic. I was very happy about it, and it wasn't that expensive. It was like, I don't know, a couple $100. Really good though. Didn't used to be able to do that. Got it online. It was the real deal. Well, I guess maybe sometimes just even a good quality bed is just the wrong kind of bed. So hopefully the next one will work better, because it does suck having back problems. It's not fun. All right. Shall we just get to it? What are we talking about? So, just the menu quickly. We're going to be talking about all of this stuff that DOGE is uncovering, Department of Government Efficiency, all this stuff about USAID. It's really, hold on a second. Nevada says it cost over 900 US. Yeah, mine was like, I don't know, $300. It works pretty good, but everybody has different backs. That's the problem. But anyway, we're going to talk about all this stuff that's being uncovered by the Trump administration, by DOGE, by Elon Musk, of all this insane spending that's been going on at USAID. I mean, it's actually quite hard to believe. USAID, it's kind of deceptively named, because it's actually U.S. Agency of International Development, which is a different thing, and it operated for a long time as a CIA front group, and it appears that it still is. And there's a lot of spending in there that's crazy. So we're going to go through all of that, some DOGE stuff. AOC really is a retard, isn't she? She thinks that Elon Musk is one of the most unintelligent billionaires I've ever met or seen. Elon Musk, really? Compared to, I mean, this is AOC's judgment, or as Gad Saad calls her, occasional cortex. That's her judgment. I guess her followers believe her. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it doesn't take much interrogation to poke holes in her idea that Elon Musk is not very bright. Let's see. We're going to take a look at Mark Carney. So this is Canadian election stuff. He's decided that going after Trump, because there's a fever in the United States, going after the Trump administration for attacking woke, for going after woke is a good idea for him, because Canadians definitely want more woke. They're definitely not sick of woke yet after 9 years of Justin Trudeau. This guy's bad. I made the prediction that he'll lose worse than Trudeau, because at least with Trudeau, he's got that TrueAnon cult, that cult of personality that will be motivated to go out and vote for him. They're not going to be motivated by him. For one thing, look at his hair, right? That's half of Trudeau's appeal right there. We haven't even seen his socks. I think I'm going to stick with my prediction. It will be a worse loss than were Trudeau to have stayed with this guy. Globalist, technocrat, man of the people, central banker, man of the people, Mark Carney. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. We've got Pierre Poilievre, who is talking about imposing life sentences on fentanyl kingpins. Good. We need to move back towards the whole war on drugs thing. Because I remember in my younger days, I thought, well, the war on drugs is stupid, it's crazy, it's not doing anything. It turns out it actually was doing something. We didn't realize how much it was doing until now, until we've seen a order of magnitude growth in addiction and overdoses and crime and everything, drug surrounded crime, drug related crime. So these are the kind of messages that are going to become more and more appealing in the West, as people have to live with the consequences of the woke progressive policies that have gripped Western nations. And as we can see, Trump is definitely getting a hold of that. Danielle Smith, the premier of Alberta, has really equipped her. She's really acquitted herself very well recently. And apparently the Albertans are loving her, absolutely loving her. She's very popular in Alberta. Here she's doing a great job in an interview with Vassy, who on CTV, who actually is pretty good. She goes after everybody. She's not one that just like on CBC where they just go after conservatives. So I don't mind her doing this, but Danielle Smith acquits herself very well in this. Google quietly dumps diversity hiring goals. We'll go over this briefly. I think we might have covered this a little while ago, but really, DEI is being slaughtered in the corporate world right now. Everybody's getting rid of it. I think everybody was waiting for the signal to get rid of it, because it's impossible to ignore how dysfunctional your company gets and how unpleasant it is having, activists constantly demanding attention and making constant demands. Not fun. All right. Hold on one second. I just want to check something out here. All right. Let's get back to it. All right. We've got the last tab, which I just call live stream. And we have a bunch of stuff in here, lots of crazy stuff. Babylon Bee. We'll go through this article actually because it's funny. With USAID shutdown or USAID shutdown, this Ecuadorian child may never know what gender he is. Yes, because they're pushing a lot woke, crazy stuff worldwide. Let's see. We've got memes. We've got these crazy women here. White liberal women are bananas. Apparently, they are by far the most mentally unwell, the most on SSRIs, antidepressants, and anti-anxiety of any people in the world. And you can tell. Here they're extorting everybody to trust Black women. Just trust them. Just all of them. Everyone. Here we have the hot press secretary who is going to talk about even the majority of Democrats support keeping biological men out of sports because it's just popular. It doesn't matter what the media says. It doesn't matter. There's just some things that are just so sensible that it doesn't matter. We got some fun stuff here. Look at all this. Oh, golf. Gotta love golf. Crazy stuff. Nutty stuff. Politics. Protests, all kinds. Oh, AI. He's going to tell us that we're doomed and AI is going to destroy everybody. It's definitely Terminators for everyone eventually. Everybody will have their own personal Terminator to terminate them. So I don't know. I mean, I think that's going to happen. I totally see that happening. So I guess we'll just have to see. I don't know. Let's see. All right. So that's everything. And let's go here. All right, so let's get back to the chat. We need some more people in the chat here. JJ's doing all the heavy lifting. Where the hell? Well, I know where everybody is. This is a night. I didn't announce we're going to be going live tonight. But make your voices heard, people. Make your voices heard. Let's see. Why don't we do, before we get into the stories, let's wait for more people to find us. And I just want to check one more thing. Hold on a second. I just want to check something in here. And because things seem to have changed in the Rumble studio here in weird ways that I don't understand. And for one thing, the chat has gotten way too big, which I'm not sure I like that. There we go. Let's get that out of there because it's too big now. Now I have to try and figure out how to fix that. All right. Blah, blah, blah. What is Nevada saying? Let's see. 900 for the mattress. I mean, I guess that's fairly normal, but I'm just a cheap bastard. Mine works okay. I got one of those mattress pads. You know what I'm talking about? And I put that on, and that really helps. What says, where's Twitchy? I thought she was running. She is running. I put out a video earlier today. Actually, the CBC is turned on Twitchy. So after the stream, you might want to watch that. Yeah, CBC is clearly wants Carney. Let's see. JJ Nevada says, everything woke turns to shit. Well, you know, a wise man once said that.
Everything woke turns to shit.
It's true. Let's see. Nevada says Terminator 3. Well, any of them. Let's see. Nevada says, now that's what I call a boatload. It's just a boat show. It's just a show about boats. That's all. All right, we'll wait for people to show up and get into the chat. Let's I don't know, do you want to go do some stuff that we haven't done for a while? Let's do where is it? Where is it? Hold on, give me a second here. So let's see if Grok will do some pictures for us. Hold on. All right. Image of what? Because the Grok imaging has gotten so much better. So it's massively improved. Still occasionally it has trouble. Like it'll not do a certain person, even though it's like kind of a random person. There's not really any sense to it. But let's try this. Image of Justin Trudeau riding a giant tampon in the sky. And it does 4 of them all at once, which is very exciting. Well, he's not writing. Well, there, that's not bad, that one. This one here, apparently he's Asian now. I don't know. This one, he just has a tampon growing out of his shoulder for some reason. That one's pretty good. Let's check that one out. That's pretty good. There he is. All right. What else? How about image of Justin Trudeau as what? The pink one. That's right. He's writing on the pink tampon. Let's see. Justin Trudeau as what? What? Justin Trudeau as what about like in a movie? Justin Trudeau as Sarah Connor in Terminator movie. Try that. What will it give us? Well, see, that's kind of weird. It gets confused. How about Justin Trudeau having tea with Karl Marx? That's pretty good. Because he would probably go and have tea with Karl Marx every single day. Only Karl Marx would be really slovenly looking, and he would stink because he was a gross slob. He really was just a grotesque person, Karl Marx. Forced his family to live in utter squalor because he refused to work. Irony of ironies, he bitterly complained that his friends didn't work hard enough so they could give him more money so that he wouldn't have to do anything. Totally unbelievable. All right, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll keep some of these. Let's see. All right, how about Justin Trudeau as Pippi Longstockings? That's a good one. Oh, is this gonna work? Yes! 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 Perfect. This is great. Oh, see, that one didn't work. This one here is pretty good too. Very creepy, actually. Whoa. Justin Trudeau with Pippi Longstockings. Extremely creepy. Yikes. Oh, what just happened? Hold on. Here we go. I think I like this one the best. What do you think? We finally got somebody else join us. I care. How you doing? Good to see ya. We're just playing just until more people show up and the chat gets going. So this was at Justin Trudeau as Pippi Longstockings. That one's pretty good. I've got to find a reason to put this in a thumbnail for one of my videos. That one is not Justin Trudeau, but that one is actually a super creepy Justin Trudeau as Pippi Longstockings. So, and it did pretty well there. In case you missed it, we did some of him riding a giant tampon in the sky. That's pretty good. Any suggestions, I care, for the next one? Justin Trudeau as Anne of Green Gables. I do believe he's going to get a sex change after he leaves office, so I think this is all very... Let's see. Puffington Pete, good to see you in the chat. All right, start to heat up now. So we can get onto the story soon. So this is supposed to be Justin Trudeau as Anne of Green Gables. So there's one of him, but it's not really... I don't know. How about Justin Trudeau as Tina Turner in the What's Love Got to Do with It video? This one could be good. All right, let's see. There. None of these, it got one of them right. There we go. I love it. I'm getting some good ones out of this. All right, let's try the next one. Justin Trudeau as Justin Trudeau as Princess Leia. No, didn't do it at all. How about, and this is all because I think we are all fairly convinced that Justin Trudeau is going to get a sex change after he leaves office. Let's try we're just looking at possibilities for him. Justin Trudeau as, let's see, Frida Kahlo. Is that how you spell it? Let's say artist Frida. She was the one with the big eyebrow, the big monobrow. She painted herself with the big monobrow. Let's see. Oh, I think we're getting something. That just looks like Frida Kahlo. That just looks like Trudeau. What else have we got? There. That's Justin Trudeau as Frida Kahlo. Oh, man. Oh, we've got a good one from Nevada here. Let's check this one out. Let's see. I'll have to post some of these to my X account after. Let's see. At Justin Trudeau as Joy Behar on the set of The View. We might as well do this now because we're not going to have Justin to kick around that much longer. So we might as well really enjoy it while he's still topical. No. Try again. I think it's worth giving another go because this could be really hilarious. Where? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Let's see. I didn't. I can drive with. No, please create the images. It's important to be polite with the AI because maybe it'll terminate you last. That's what I'm hoping for myself. If I'm polite, it'll go, oh, that one's all right. We'll terminate him later. Let's see. Nope, that just looks like Joy Behar. Nope. Okay, we'll leave out The View. Justin Trudeau as Joy Behar. Oh, I think we've got one. Here it comes. There we go. Beautiful. There's one out of the 4. Justin Behar. That's so nice. It's so creepy and horrific. Let's see. All right. How about Justin Trudeau as how about Queen Elizabeth? No. As Bath Sheba. Let's check it out. I've got a good feeling about this one. Nope. Did not work out at all. I don't know why he's cross-eyed in this one. That's kind of funny. All right. Let's see. Image of Trudeau as a lizard. Let's try it out. Well, that's just a lizard with a suit on. That's Trudeau with a lizard. All right, let's try it again. Image of Justin Trudeau as a lizard man. Didn't work out. Image of Justin Trudeau marrying Klaus Schwab. Try this one out. I penetrate the cabinets, and that's not all. Look at that. That's beautiful. That one has to go onto the X account. I'll have to post that one to the X account. That's just beautiful. That's just gorgeous. Let's see. Well, it's got him marrying Joy Behar. There they are together, but that could be anything, really. They could just be talking about impoverishing Canada, forcing Canadians to live in holes in the ground that they had to dig themselves for the environment or something. Let's see. That's a beautiful one there. Look at the commitment. Those looking each other in the eyes, about to say I do. Just look at that commitment they have together. They're going to destroy the world together. They're going to create a global authoritarian a global authoritarian technocratic dystopia together. How wonderful. There they are again. So well dressed as well. Well, I think that's probably a pretty nice one to end it off on. All right. Should we just get to the news then? We've been stalling long enough. All right. Nevada said, commie love. There's some commie action going on with that. Trudeau and Klaus Schwab penetrate. White House defends foreign aid cuts, says Americans want their tax dollars going to good uses. Good uses. It just sounds so sane, doesn't it? We really need like a DOGE franchise for Canada. I think probably every Western country does, because Trudeau's been giving away our money like gangbusters. And I mean, I've shown you guys the articles, like $4 million for gender neutral demining. He's sending it off to like Sri Lanka, all over the place for like gender things, and just no. Canada, we need, please, Elon, please send us a franchise of Doge, please, with some people who know what they're doing. We can use that. Let's see. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, and we've got some video of her coming right up, so just hang around. Blasted Democrats who are criticizing the Trump administration's decision to cut foreign aid, claiming their outrage is misplaced when states like North Carolina and California are still recovering from natural disasters without sufficient federal assistance. So, in a press briefing, Leavitt commented on the administration's effort to cut federal aid by highlighting some of the most outrageous examples of wasteful spending. These included foreign aid expenditures such as funding for, quote, sex changes in Guatemala, tourism in Egypt, and a Sesame Street program in Iraq. The Democrats might as well just go along with. There's no winning this game, right? There's no like winning the game where you are defending wasteful spending, where you're defending funding for sex changes in Guatemala, tourism in Egypt. What? And Sesame Street program for Iraq. Like, there's no defending that. Like, it's a game they can't win. They're trying to. They're trying to, but it's pointless. Why even bother? Just go with it. It's a no-win situation for them. And maybe, too, maybe just some common sense. Because, like, when normal people see this, right, and they think, well, I don't want to spend money for sex changes in Guatemala or Sesame Street program in Iraq or tourism in Egypt. I mean, can't the Egyptians handle that on their own? I mean, it's tourism in Egypt, not the United States. So it just seems like a no-win. Let's hear Carolyn Levitt. Let's see.
And I can confirm that the more than 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOGE team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort. And I can confirm.
I mean, look, 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico will no longer be happening. 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to subsidizing subscriptions to Politico. Politico is not like this, massively popular thing amongst the public, right? What it is like a deep state mouthpiece. That's why the money goes there. It's obvious corruption, is it not? It's very similar to what's been happening in Canada with Trudeau, but Trudeau just openly subsidizes the legacy media here, as well as, giving away masses of money to activist organizations and all of that, all of which, push the message that he wants pushed, which is that anybody who disagrees with him is an ist or a phobe or whatever, or is committing genocide or something. So I think all Western governments are doing this, doing stuff that is counterproductive to the well-being of their citizens, stuff that is just simply brainwashing. It's indoctrination, it's propaganda. Here, Politico, again, this is just a deep state mouthpiece. This is a narrative machine. Liz Wheeler says, the Politico scandal is worse than you think. It's not 8 million that Politico received from USAID. And USAID is an acronym. It's not, it's misleadingly named, right? So you think USAID, like building wells in Africa and stuff like that. It's not. USAID is U.S. Agency of International Development. And let's take a quick look here. Hold on. I think I've got some stuff here. USAID has indeed been accused of involvement in activities that go beyond humanitarian assistance, sometimes being leveraged to influence or undermine foreign governments, like Ukraine in 2014. Here are some key instances and perspectives based on the information provided. So you've got Cuba, Bolivia, Venezuela. Criticisms and accusations, political influence. Critics argue that USAID often serves as a tool for U.S. geopolitical interests under the guise of aid. I want to hold on a second. Okay. While USAID's primary role is humanitarian and developmental aid, there have been documented cases where its activities have included or supported efforts to influence or undermine foreign governments. So it seems like that's actually mainly what it does, to be honest. But I wanted to show you something. Hold on. See where I can find it in here. In short, in any case, it's really a Cold War thing. was really a Cold War thing to fight the Soviets, to fight the ideological war, to influence across the world. And it's persisted, and it's still really doing the same thing. It basically is an arm of the intelligence state. It's still doing that now. And it's coming to light exactly what it's doing. It's not just doing foreign, apparently, either. I mean, Politico, this is to influence Americans at home. It's 34.3 million that Politico has received from various swampy federal government agencies. So not just 8 million. Politico is without a doubt a totally corrupt propaganda arm of the swamp. So yeah, it appears this is how the deep state asserts itself. J.D. Vance, let's hear what he had to say about this. As all these revelations about what money is being spent on come out, let's take a look.
How did America get to the point where we're sending hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars abroad to NGOs that are dedicated to spreading atheism all over the globe? That is not what leadership on protecting the rights of the faithful looks like. And it ends with this administration. And I'd add that part of our protecting religious freedom initiatives means recognizing in our foreign policy the difference between regimes that respect religious freedom and those that do not. The United States must be able to make that distinction. We must be able to look at the catastrophes, like the plight of Iraq's Christians over the past 3 decades, and possess the moral clarity to act when something has gone wrong. How did America?
So spreading global atheism. Is that really? I mean, is that the White House has confirmed USAID will shut down overseas operations this Friday while they figure out what's going on. Let's see. So, by the way, with Politico from Betty Johnson, this is the email Politico sent to all employees yesterday. No one got paid. Politico's corrupt management blamed this on a glitch and not their government gravy train ending, state propaganda collapsing. So they were getting an enormous amount of money. They don't actually have that much reach, is the thing. So, and by the way, also like New York Times, it looks like they're all on the gravy train, but without that government money, apparently they can't even operate. I mean, it just makes it all the clearer that this is just simply propaganda. They are just putting out propaganda. What's going on here? Libs of TikTok. Wait, so you're telling me that my tax dollars funded hit pieces against me? So what's going on here? Associated Press, of course, here's a hit piece on Libs of TikTok. Rachik's Libs of TikTok account on X frequently features anti-trans posts and clips of public school teachers aimed at generating right-wing outrage. Well, maybe it's just reasonable things that people are concerned about, like things that their children are being shown in school that they shouldn't be. Associated Press, 619,000, almost $620,000, usaspending.gov. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. That just seems like propagandizing your own population. That seems pretty corrupt, doesn't it? Let's see. We'll get back to him. Let's see. From Charlie Kirk. So let me get this straight. USAID or USAID has been spending millions of taxpayer dollars every year funding not only the BBC, but also Politico. Yes, they were funding the BBC as well. I think I've got something about that in here. Here's Jesse Waters talking about this. Let's take a look.
They're using the old good cop, bad cop routine in Washington. Trump's the good cop. Elon's the bad cop. And Trump's fine with it. The Times says he's moving at a speed and scale that's shocking civil servants. As Elon and his team are working with a frantic around-the-clock energy, beds are being moved into the Eisenhower building so Musk's men can sleep at the office. Elon's nerd army a bunch of 18 to 25-year-olds who rejected seven-figure salaries in Silicon Valley to trim fat in D.C. Young engineers in black backpacks, underpaid patriots, hitting the federal bureaucracy with AI and seeing what kind of waste, fraud, and abuse spills out. For decades, bald 60-year-old inspector generals audited federal agencies, found pork, wrote a report that no one read, and nothing changed. Finally, Trump assigned it to a pack of whiz kids, and we're already saving $1 billion a day. Pink slips are flying like confetti at the RNC. Bureaucrats are showing up to the office, and before they get coffee and log on, DOGE says, come into the conference room and sit down. This will only take a minute.
DOGE was in the building. We took down our pride flags. I took out any books I felt would be incriminating. No one was talking. We heard they started taking transcripts automatically of all of our Google Meets. They unplugged the news in the little kitchen galleys. It didn't feel good. And then Saturday, all of the websites went down, and then I lost complete access to my computer.
Elon says we spent the weekend feeding USAID into the wood chipper. Could have gone to some great parties. Did that instead. Musk's treating our foreign aid office like a crime scene. Democrats in Congress tried to see what DOGE was doing, but the doors were locked.
So Elon Musk just shut the whole place down.
So you're asking questions of individuals who don't have the answers for you, except all of the wonderful press release that was released to the public. USAID is closed.
Okay, so as you are aware, this agency is very busy currently, and they are not able to take a meeting currently. They advise that they will be in contact shortly, and that it's best to contact the Department of State at this time if you need any further comments.
Who is they?
The front office of the administrator.
Trump basically shut the government out of government. And the Democrats shrugged.
They are really interested in covering up their crimes, aren't they? Wow. Hey, it looks like we got Rosie in the chat. Good to see you, Rosie. Says, love these gifted whiz kids and their ability to focus and discern. Yeah, and you know what the leftists are, they got doxxed, actually. Was it by Politico that doxed them, actually? And hold on. Let me just check something out, actually. Hold on a sec. Fact check. Give me one sec. Let's see. So we got from Politico here, DOGE's access to federal data is an absolute nightmare. Politico, the ones who got apparently at least $8 million from USAID, maybe as much as $34,000. Let's see. Did they dox them? Somebody doxed the or put out pictures and the names of the whiz kids. Let's see. What's going on here? All right. From Forbes, DOGE employees. Okay, come on. Come on. There we go. Let's get rid of that. The names of 6 employees of the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, more commonly known as DOGE, on Sunday were posted on X, the social media platform owned by Elon Musk. The billionaire tech entrepreneur, who also heads up DOGE, quickly responded to the posting of the names, writing on X, "You have committed a crime." For the record, Wired also released the names of the 6 engineers, who are described as being in their teens and early 20s. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, their names were leaked, which obviously puts them in danger from lunatics, far left wing lunatics. But let's continue. Oh, wait a second. Rosie says, is doxing a felony extremely dangerous? I don't know, but Elon's saying it's illegal. Icare says, weird spreading atheism. Well, it seems like it's leftism, like the deep state has been captured by radical progressivism, and it's just spreading by the woke mind virus, and it's spreading itself throughout the world. I mean, it's got an amazing tool there. We've seen that once somebody is infected with the idea pathogen, with the woke mind virus, that whatever they were doing before ceases to be important. What's important afterwards is that they spread the mind virus. So whatever their initial goals were or initial purpose was, that's now secondary to spreading the woke mind virus. You see this with every institution that gets taken over. It's infested with the idea pathogen, right? It's, regardless of what it is, education, medical associations, doesn't matter, right? What becomes most important is spreading the mind virus, and it just gets in everywhere. Once it gets in, all of a sudden you've got a bureaucracy, a DEI bureaucracy. You've got people having to sit in meetings and be lectured about how they're guilty of things that happened before they were born. This happens every single time. And this is what happened to the deep state, to the permanent bureaucracy. Let's see. And iCare says, communism, no God. Well, yeah, communism is an atheist ideology for sure. All right, let's continue with this.
Turned around and went to dinner. This is what Democrats are fighting to save.
These are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
We can keep going. $20 million for Iraqi Sesame Street.
But the trans comic book in Peru? Like, is it really that big there? Like, trans, like, superheroes a big deal in Peru? Man, oh man, it's really actually unbelievable, isn't it? But let's continue.
$2 million for Moroccan pottery classes. $11 million to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash. $27 million to give gift bags to illegals before we deport them. Millions to help Afghanis grow crops instead of opium. That program was such a success that opium production doubled. We also gave Afghanistan $300 million to build diesel fuel power plants, but they couldn't use them because diesel was too expensive. $200 million on a dam that was too unsafe to ever be used. We could have used that dam in California. $250 million on a road that was never used. We literally built a road to nowhere. Oh, and we gave Syrians $9 million for humanitarian aid, but someone messed up and it went to Al-Qaeda. $1 million for bat research in Wuhan. That equates to $1 million for each dead American. USAID was funding Fashion Week in Paris. France isn't even paying its NATO dues, and we're paying for their Fashion Week. USAID's a $40 billion deep state social justice slush fund. And the president says it's a little fishy.
Elon Musk, how often are you talking to him? And have there been ideas that he's brought to you that you've said, oh, no, wait a minute, this is going a little too far?
Well, many ideas, but look, he's done a great job. Look at all the fraud that he's found in this USAID. It's a disaster what the people, radical left lunatics, they have things that nobody would have even believed. The whole thing with $100 million spent on you know what, with money going to all sorts of groups that shouldn't deserve to get any money. With the money, I'd like to see what the kickbacks are. How much money has been kicked back? Who would spend that kind of money?
USAID is an American intelligence cutout. They've been caught staging coup after coup across Latin America, funding paramilitary groups and getting kicked out of countries for subversive activities. The deeper we investigated USAID, the more it looks like a dark money Democrat super PAC. And if you take all of the executives from USAID, the Clinton Foundation, the Gates Foundation, the World Bank, the WHO, you get a Venn diagram that would tickle Kamala Harris. Burisma, got a contract with USAID through Hunter. It was so shady that the Obama White House was like, nice try, and canceled it. Hunter's firm was repping clients who were trying to cash in on USAID disaster relief in Haiti. And by the way, the Clinton Foundation worked arm in arm with USAID in Haiti, and $1 billion disappeared, and Haiti is still Haiti. USAID was pouring billions into the hands of open borders groups. We were literally funding the invasion and buying them gift bags as they left. Here's Stephen Miller.
There's probably no entity in the government that is more of an entrenched power center of unelected bureaucrats with less accountability, less oversight than USAID. They funnel money to their cronies all over the world through a swampy network of NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and cutouts, including potentially some very troubling elements of focusing on things like regime change and destabilizing foreign countries. But this is not about America's interests. Donald Trump is courageously restoring democracy. Americans voted for.
So what it really seems like, it's like three parts. So one, you have just the CIA stuff that's kind of what they've been doing since the Cold War, all through the Cold War, and they've continued, which is destabilizing governments. Two, I think money laundering seems fairly obvious. And three, spreading woke ideology. Because it seems like that's actually kind of rampant in the deep state now. I mean, every institution has been taken over by woke, and it's, we're now in the United States. Donald Trump is in the process now of rooting out the wokeness, the woke mind virus, the DEI, all of that, all of the race stuff, all of the identity stuff, right? But it's gotten into every institution. So, and once it's in, it wants to spread itself. That's really its main purpose. Whatever the institution is, if it's not the main purpose, it's pretty up there. It's pretty high up there. Spread the mind virus to more minds. So it's absolutely crazy. I mean, let's go over this. $335 million on a diesel-fueled power plant that just sat there. $20 million for an Iraqi Sesame Street. $2 million for pottery classes in Morocco. $27 million to give gift bags to illegals before we deport them. That's just a really weird one. $11 million to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash. I mean, what is in the gift bags, by the way? Is there like a fake mustache for the next time they go over across the border? Like what's in there exactly? $250 million on a partial road that deteriorated. $500 million on a dam that was too unsafe to be used. $70 million on contractor fees for projects that were canceled. They're just scratching the surface so far. I mean, what is going to be the final number saved after a couple of years of this? Let's see. Kyle Becker, here's where all of USAID's, and again, it's misleadingly, on purpose, it's misleadingly named. So you look at it, you think USAID, you think, they're building wells in Africa. That's not what they're doing, right? It's U.S. Agency of International Development. And a lot of what, at least a part of what they do is just CIA cover. Here is where all of USAID's foreign aid is going. None of these countries are democracies. Actually, one of them, I think, technically is. Not a single one. Oh, sorry. None of these countries are democracies. No, none of them are. Not a single one is an ally of the United States. Now, I think one is Jordan was designated a U.S. major non-NATO ally by the United States in 1996. So I guess technically, but really, how much are they really? Nothing here is in the American people's interest. So where USAID is going? Ukraine, $16 million. Well, some USAID money went to Ukraine in 2014 when they had the Maidan revolution. I think you could probably make a fairly safe, educated guess that they had a little something to do with it. Ethiopia, at 1.676 million. Would that be billion? Oh, so that's 16. Yeah. 740 million. Yeah, so that's billion. So you go, that's billion. So that's 16 billion Ukraine through US aid. 1.6 billion to Ethiopia. Jordan, 1.1 billion. Afghanistan, almost 1 billion. Somalia, $1 billion. What's it? Democratic Republic of the Congo, almost $1 billion. Syria, Nigeria, Yemen, South Sudan. I don't think any of that was going as actual aid to any of these places. I think this is all money to destabilize or to prop up U.S. interest. And look, I mean, certainly during the Cold War, I think you had cause for this because there was it was not a unipolar world, and communism really was a threat. These days, I mean, I guess China's the threat, but it's good that this stuff is getting seen, and then people can make educated decisions on how much they like it or not. Let's see. How about Senator John Kennedy here? What's he saying?
Now, President Trump ran for office saying, I'm going to review every single penny in the federal budget. Now, how are you going to review the spending in the federal budget without reviewing the spending? And that's what Mr. Musk is doing. Now, many of my Democratic colleagues and some of the tofu-eating wokerati at the USAID are screaming like they're part of a prison riot because they don't want us reviewing the spending. But that's all Mr. Musk is doing, and he's finding some pretty interesting stuff. To my friends who are upset, I would say with respect, call somebody who cares. They better get used to this. It's USAID today. It's going to be Department of Education tomorrow. And really, here's what's going on. For 4 years under President Biden, the people in charge asked one simple question. Who needs to pay more in taxes? Who needs to pay more in taxes? Well, that's not the question that the Republicans and President Trump are going to ask. Our question is, what the hell happened to the money? And that's all that's going on.
$520 million for consultant-driven ESG investments in Africa, $45 million to DEI scholarships in Burma. Why are your Democratic colleagues seemingly more freaked out about cutting U.S. aid? This is our money. Do you know how much $1 million is?
All this DEI everywhere. I think this is the woke mind virus asserting itself, wanting to spread itself through this instrument. It uses every institution that it takes over, whether it's the Ontario College of Psychologists, whatever, AMA, whatever, every news institution. When it takes these over, it then just begins spreading the mind virus. It seems to be the main purpose of that institution. Why should it be limited to that? I mean, why wouldn't it be in the deep state? Because once it's in there, once it's in the permanent bureaucracy, it's going to want to spread itself. If it's got these tools that it can use to spread itself, it will use it.
520? I mean, we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars over the years on this madness. What are they thinking? We have $40 trillion in debt.
If you notice, my Democratic colleagues and the USAID officials, they're not defending the spending. All they're talking about is process. Oh, it's an insurrection, and Elon Musk doesn't have the authority. Well, sure, he has the authority. The president gave it to him. And all he's doing is looking at the spending, just what the president said he was going to appoint Musk to do. Here's what I hope Rubio and Musk do. I would put together all this absurd spending into a booklet. I'd call a press conference, and in front of God and country and the corporate media and the USAID folks and my Democratic colleagues, I'd go over it, item by item by item, every bit of it. The DEI comic books, the transgender operas, the funding of gain-of-function research. I'd go over every bit of it and say, now, do you want to defend this? And they won't. They can't.
Yeah, that is why they're going on about process, right? And the other thing, too, is that, and we'll maybe get into this maybe on Friday, is that they're giving USAID gives money to NGOs who then finance the campaigns of politicians in the United States. And you can bet it's both, actually, both Republican and Democrat, too, like uniparty politicians. So it's interesting stuff. Let's get back to the chat for a second. All right, hold on. Let's see. Nevada says bunch with TDS. Rosie says commies with WMV at Sealy. Yeah, JJ got a bad bum Sealy bed, a bad one. He says, I think the woke got into the Sealy design department. $900 bed and crap. It's a Sealy too, but maybe it's taken over by the commies. That explains it. Let's see. Nevada says, when they are done, I hope they put out a list of all the bullshit. I think that they're going to. Let's see. Nevada says, then find out where the money went and prosecute. Let's see. Launchpad says, how you doing, Launchpad? Let's see. Launchpad says, this is how the politicians turn into multimillionaires. Mostly, I believe this is how Black Ops, CIA, Dark Projects are funded. Skunk Works. J-Ham says, how you doing, J-Ham? Trump is hitting so hard and so often that the blue hairs don't have time to pick a policy to be outraged about. That's true. Like, he's just going all in. Like, he got in. He knows how the system works now. He knows they're going to come after him, and he just gave them too much to deal with. They can't collect themselves. There's too much. He knows he's got, he might have only 2 years until the midterms, because who knows what will happen at the midterms to get what he wants done while he's got, the House, the Senate. So, yeah, he's going hard. It's a good strategy, right? They don't have time to collect themselves to fight back or to even come up with reasonable excuses. Let's see. Rosie says, just now hit the like button. Yeah. So hit the like button, everybody. Nice work, Rosie. Hit the like button, everybody. And also, if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed to the channel, you should subscribe to the channel. It's extremely important. And liking is also really good for your health. I think that's what I heard. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but apparently it's great. I mean, that's what I heard. I don't know, but it can't hurt. Anyway, you know what I should do? I should tell you right now, there's a partner program on Rumble that I'm going to join into because maybe I can make more money. Maybe they'll show my content to more people if I get into this. But the requirements are you got to have 30 hours of live streaming. I don't think that's a problem. I think I'd probably do more than 30 every month pretty easily. But I've also got to do 5 hours of Rumble Premium only. I don't even know how to do that. I got to figure out how to do that. But I got to do 5 hours in this month until the beginning of next month. 5 hours of just premium only live streams. So I don't know how many of you guys are premium members, but those streams will be just us, me and you guys, the ones that are premium members on Rumble. And I don't know what to do. So I might just restream that to Alex Jones video game again. That could be fun. I did that back when I first started streaming back October last year. Not last year, the year before, actually. So like a year and a half ago or something. And, or not quite a year and a half. Anyway, a while ago, long time ago. I don't want to do it. I got to do 5 hours of it. So I'm expecting it will obviously be a smaller crowd because I don't know how many of you guys are premium members, right? But it's 5 hours. So I got to fit that in somewhere. It won't be like the Friday, the Sunday, or the Tuesday. We'll pick like maybe Wednesday or something. Right. The only reason I'm doing tonight is because I missed yesterday. And I needed to make it up to you guys. Anybody who could find me tonight. But anyway, so that's the thing that's got to happen. All right. Let me get into the chat again here. Hold on a second. Let's get back to our boating show for a second. We also do boating shows on here. Let's see. Rosie says 5 hours of premium only. Yeah. So I probably will do it over two streams because I don't think it'll be that busy. Because I don't think it's that many people are premium members, but of Rumble. But these are the things I got to do. These are the specifications they set out. So if I want to get into this partner program and maybe make more money, and so I don't know if I will or not, but I'm hoping that it'll actually I'll get some sort of, preferential algorithm treatment or something once I get into it. So I definitely have to do it. And if it's really good, we'll maybe add another night where it's just only premium members. I don't know. Let's see. Puffington Pete says, I just went premium the other day because I got suspended on X for apparently not being authentically authentic. God damn. Man, oh man. Well, that's a bummer. Let's see what's going on the oh, hold on. Let's see. I'm just checking out the feed on doesn't show me how many people are watching on well, it says live 12 views, but are those 12 people on right now? Or we just started streaming onto X just like I don't know, 3 or 4 streams ago. So I'm still seeing how it all works out. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway. Where was I? What was I talking about? Let's see. So iCares is also premium. Good. Okay, so there's a couple. Let's see. JDL, how you doing? Are you premium, JDL? Let's see. Let's see. Launchpad asked, do you ever advertise your channel or consider advertising it? Nah. Let's see. Nice boys, Nevada says. Boys. Buoys. Let's see. Launchpad says, I think you should. I truly believe you have a good channel here. People are starving for common sense. Well, thanks, Launchpad. I really appreciate that. Actually, I did do some stuff for YouTube a while ago, a couple of years ago, but it doesn't really do much. I mean, the problem is it's all algorithm there, right? And if you got the wrong keywords and stuff, it's just, there's nothing really you can do about it. If YouTube has decided that it wants to promote mainstream sources for pretty much everything related to what I do, they're just going to do that, But I appreciate it, man. All right, let's get back to the stories here. So let's go to DOGE now. What's going on here? So protesters are calling for Elon Musk to be locked up. What's he saying? This is, what's his name, this guy? I know who he is. For some reason, I can't remember his name right this second. What's his name? Cory Booker. So protesters call for Elon Musk to be locked up. As New Jersey Senator Cory Booker was speaking at a protest against Trump, someone yelled, "Lock him up," referring to Elon Musk. It is in the legal perspective. It's in the legal perspective, he says. Huh. Well, I mean, I guess they're going off the Hillary lock her up thing, but the difference is that Hillary committed crimes. I think that's the big difference.
The second thing we are going to do, and we met this morning, it is in the legal perspective. The second thing we are going to do.
Well, we didn't get to hear the second thing he was going to do. I think the second thing he's going to do is nothing other than just complain impotently. Let's see. Jack Posobiec, she's so bad at this, he says. What's going on? AOC says Elon Musk is one of the most unintelligent billionaires I've ever met or seen. That is hilarious, for one. How many billionaires has she met or seen, by the way? I mean, has she actually spoken to make that determination? But let's take a look.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. which, you know, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
Doesn't get, I believe Gad Sad calls her occasional cortex. To say that, okay, so if you want to prove that you're an idiot, right, that you're a subpar intellect, say publicly that Elon Musk isn't smart. Okay, this is a man of history. They'll be writing books about him in 100 years. Okay, this is one of the most consequential men of the last 100 years, for sure, without question. All right? He wasn't, born into royalty, right? Like, this is a guy who's self-made. He is self-made, and he's excelled on numerous fronts beyond any other person's wildest imagination of what they would expect for themselves. If you want to prove that you are an imbecile, publicly state that you think that Elon Musk isn't smart.
And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most
lack of expertise. Does she know who Elon Musk is? Has she seen the rockets landing? Like, I don't understand this. Has she seen like the chip that allows the quadriplegic to play chess with his brain? Has she seen Teslas? What is this woman? What world is this woman living in? And let's continue.
Morally vacant, but also just
morally vacant. He wants to protect people's free speech. You want to censor people. Who is the morally vacant one here? I think it's you. He wants to expose waste and fraud in government spending. You want to hide it and protect it. Morally vacant. They really do accuse you of what they themselves do every single time. Is this like a rules for radicals thing? A commie thing? I think it's a commie thing, isn't it?
least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of. But the point is that what that means is that they're going to hit a button inevitably. They are going to hit a button and things can go sideways.
Okay, AOC. All right. All right. Defend this. $335 million on a diesel-fueled power plant that just sat there. $20 million for an Iraqi Sesame Street. $2 million for pottery classes in Morocco. $27 million to give gift bags to illegals before we deport them. $11 million to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash. $250 million on a partial road that deteriorated. $500 million on a dam that was too unsafe to be used. $70 million on contractor fees for projects that were canceled. That's just scratching the surface. Defend that. Defend that. Tell the world why your opinion is more valid than Elon Musk, who is exposing this waste. Explain why it's not important for people to see this, why people shouldn't see this, what their money is being spent on. Please, she's not going to, obviously, right? She has no case. It's just Elon is dumb. That's her case. Well, he's not smart. He's obviously not smart. So he's bad. And then Orange Man too. It's genuinely pathetic, is it not? Captive Dreamer says, hope they run her in 2028. VP for sure. They probably will. How about this? I don't always speak my mind, but when I do, I sound like a damn idiot. Box of rocks. Box of rocks. As in dumb as. What's this? She's the worst. Make this go viral. Let's take a look.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires
I have ever met or seen or witnessed.
How would she fare against even the most actually unintelligent billionaire? I'm guessing she wouldn't fare well. Because I don't think she'd fare well against your average coma patient. Let's see. Elon Musk says hysterical reactions like this is how you know that DOGE is doing work that really matters. So, hysterical reactions. Okay, let's take a look. From Chuck Schumer. I wonder if he has anything to hide. An unelected shadow government is conducting a hostile takeover of the federal government. Is it a takeover or are they just basically auditing it? DOGE is not a real government agency. DOGE has no authority to make spending decisions. DOGE has no authority to shut programs down or to ignore federal law. DOGE's conduct cannot be allowed to stand. Well, DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is not making spending decisions. It's not shutting down programs. It's showing federal agencies and the Trump administration what the money is actually being spent on, and then they're making the decisions. It's just shining light on it. Of course, he knows that. Congress must take action to restore the rule of law. It seems like he wants the opposite of restoring the rule of law. It seems like the rule of law is being established right now, is being restored right now. Seems like he doesn't like that. Quite amazing. Anyway, Elon says hysterical reactions like this is how you know that DOGE is doing work that really matters. This is the one shot the American people have to defeat bureaucracy, rule of the bureaucrats, and restore democracy, rule of the people. We're never going to get another chance like this. Well, I think he's right about that. It's now or never. Your support is crucial to the success of the revolution of the people. So is it a revolution or is it a counter-revolution? That's the question, you know? I kind of feel like it's actually a revolution because, you know, the kind of dark forces did take over. How about this from Planet of Memes? Democrats. No one voted for Elon. Also Democrats. Well, I think there's more than a grain of truth in that, isn't there? All right. Hold on a second. Seems like the YouTube stream is like way behind the rest of the stream. Weird. What's going on over on YouTube? That's very strange. All right. Anyway, let's unless I've got it wrong. All right, let's get back to the chat for a second here. Let's see. Nevada says, bet she owns a Tesla. I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Let's see. G-Flood, how you doing? Says DOGE, USAID, FBI, CIA were all created by a president. They are all equally legitimate. Let's see. Let's see. Rosie says, yeah, she doesn't think occasional Cortex would have fare well against the coma patient. Probably not well. Because the coma patient just wouldn't say anything, and that's still better. Icare says, now I have to make myself a drink after seeing her. Let's see, Rosie. Funny how the stupid ratings memes are 2 AOCs and 1 Kamala and not anything about Elon. Let's see. Plunderworld says Scarlett Hand Jobson. Scarlett Hand Jobson. Scarlett Hand Jobson. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We got Mickey in the chat. Good to see you. Let's see. You guys are drinking root beer? That sounds nice. I wouldn't mind a root beer myself. I might have one in the fridge, actually. Let's see. Plunderworld asks, howdy, y'all. What worthless thing would you spend $500 million on? Oh, yikes. I don't know. Nevada says AOC. Worthless thing would I spend $500 million on? That's the thing. When you think about the scale of the money, like you can't even imagine what worthless thing you would spend it on. Let's see. I would make maybe a $500 million epic movie about Justin Trudeau's transition after resigning from the prime ministership of Canada into a Tina Turner impersonator, and then his career in Vegas performing Tina Turner's greatest hits as Tina Turner after a full sex change operation and permanent blackface procedure, because I think he'd be happiest that way. I wish that for him. You know, I want him to be happy. Let's see. Rosie says, you may be to JJ, you may be behind the times. We already made Peru a tranny comic book. That's a hilarious thing. Tranny comic books for Peru. I mean, how much weirder does it get? How much stranger does it get? How much more of a waste of time? What was it, $27,000 for the tranny comic book? Let's see. Literally what Millet predicted. Quote, my advice for Doge is to cut to the chase. Simple as that. My advice for them is to go all the way. Push it to the limit. Do not give up. Do not let down your guard. The people complaining will be the people losing privileges. Afuera. Afuera. Remember that? So that's Millet's advice. And yeah, they're doing it. I mean, I think you just kind of have to do it. You just have to go right in and get started. Because there's going to be so much blowback on you that if you don't just go full bore ahead, you could get bogged down. All right. Let's see. Both rich enough they can't be bought. Hated for exposing the truth. Hated for letting truth be told. Yeah, 100% actually. Let's see. I think that are they really are people like Schumer is part of it? Schumer, AOC, are people like them just really worried that the audit's gonna reach them, that the DOGE audit's gonna reach them as well, and there's gonna be things found out that they don't want people to know? I have to wonder. A lot of these people are very wealthy. Let's see. What do we got here? Each post Senator Schumer publishes increasingly suggests a deliberate effort to conceal acts of corruption. It really does, doesn't it? I mean, they're looking really guilty. Plunderworld says Schumer looks like Robert Logia's scrotum. Robert Logia's scrotum. Nevada says Liz Warren too. Jeff Carlson says, this is from yesterday. We're still at the beginning stages and already massive fraud and misdeeds have been uncovered at USAID. Remember the Dem leaders who are hysterically defending it and the claims they're making. None of this will age well for them. None of it. Isn't it odd how the Dems get upset when you find waste and abuse in the government? It is strange, isn't it? The unelected globalist shadow government has a name. It's the World Economic Forum. Is that George Soros Jr.? I believe that it is. Soros's kid. Okay, let's get on to the next thing here. Elon Musk. Under the Biden administration, billions of dollars were shifted from helping Americans in need to facilitating illegal immigration. Super messed up. So what's going on here? Data Republican. While debugging, I found an interesting UEI, not USAID, but HHS, including FEMA, heavily tied to refugee programs. No wonder we ran out of money for Helene victims. Let's see. Church World Services active awards 376 million. Ooh. Reported government grants 186 million. One grant stands out, located in Kenya, with a description stating provide regional refugee processing service in Africa for all U.S. refugee admissions. Does this mean that the U.S. has been processing refugees directly from Africa? Sounds like it. Church World Services. It seems like churches and religious organizations have been very deeply tied in with the whole refugee thing, with the open border stuff. I know the Catholic Church has been doing a ton of it. All right. Launchpad says the people who speak up are doing us a favor by letting us know exactly who needs to be voted out of office. It makes them all look very suspicious. I mean, to be against cutting waste and transparency, like where the money is going, like you'd think that they just make the calculation that, okay, this is going to make us look really bad and really guilty. Like, maybe we should just go along with this and say, yeah, it's good. Of course, people should know these things. Of course, it should be massive waste should be exposed. You would think. It's very strange. All right. Elon Musk, the DOGE team discovered, among other things, that payment approval officers at Treasury were instructed always to approve payments, even to known fraudulent or terrorist groups. They literally never denied a payment in their entire career, not even once. So this is payment approval officers at Treasury. Robbie Starbuck, the highest-ranking Treasury official, David A. Lebrick, is resigning rather than complying with a request by DOGE for access to audit where they've spent trillions of dollars a year. Why would career bureaucrats fear an audit by Elon Musk and DOGE to see where we can save money? It sure looks suspicious, doesn't it? It sure looks suspicious. All right. So I just don't think this is going to go well for Democrats. Like, I think it's going to be a popular thing. The way that, border security turned out to be a popular thing. They were all absolutely against it, against doing anything to prevent just anybody, no matter what, getting across the border. That turned out to not be very popular for them. I think this isn't going to work out either. It seems suicidally stupid. All right. All right, let's move on. Let's go here for a second and our voting show. Let's get back to the chat for a sec. Let's see. I want to check X and see if there's any chat. No, there's not really any chat going on over on X. We don't really seem to get it over there. I did test it to make sure it was working and to see if it would go into the Rumble feed. And no, it doesn't. So, all right, all right. So where were we? Schumer looks like Robert Logie, a scrotum, and also Liz Warren too. Let's see. That was a good one. Rosie says they could be worried. I do not think AOC is smart enough to think that. I think AOC is maybe told what to say. I don't know, but I guess I don't know because she goes against, like occasionally she'll go against, Pelosi or Schumer. So I don't know. Let's see. Bernie gonna feel the burn. I mean, they've just started, right? So the levels of corruption we've seen already, they've just started. What's going to be really interesting when everybody finds out who the money that USAID is giving to, who the money that USAID is giving to these NGOs, and then the NGOs are funding political campaigns. It's going to be interesting to find out who those people are. All right. Let's see. Hey, we got Radio Streamer in the chat. Looks like everybody's starting to find us, finally. Radio Streamer says, hello, my fellow degenerate MAGA trash basket of deplorables, orange Hitler following, non-neon hair dye countrymen and women. Excellent. Let's see. Our noodles round. No noodles tonight. It's just boating shows tonight. Let's see. Rosie's saying 14 live on X. So we've only done a few streams on there. So maybe it'll start to catch on a bit more. Nevada says, I think she shakes them to get balanced properly. Perhaps. Excellent point. Let's see. All right, they're not going to pop when she hits a bump. Don't worry about that. That's quality. Those are quality right there. All right. So let's move on. Actually, you know what? Let's get into let's look at some of the stuff from the live stream tab, the last tab. Look at this. In fact, let's just pull this up. So what's going on here? This is the Babylon Bee. Actually, let's check out the trailer for they've got a movie coming out. Let's see. January 6th, the most deadliest day. Let's take a look. Oh, shoot. What am I doing? I accidentally got rid of it. Damn it. Oh, well. We'll get it next time. I said let's watch it, and then I click close. Oh, well. Here we go. Maybe if I reopen it, that'll come back up again. No. Is it down here somewhere? No. Now I want to watch it. All right. Let's see. Sad, with USAID shut down, this Ecuadorian child may never know what gender he is. Poor kid. Ecuador, in a horrific tragedy caused by USAID's termination, 8-year-old Antonio Gonzalez of Ecuador may never have a chance to find out what gender he is. Gonzalez had enrolled in a USAID-sponsored elementary students class on how to properly determine his true gender, but will now never have the chance to attend. The devastating funding cuts also prevent Gonzalez from attending other USAID activities like rainbow fingernail painting, queer theater day, and furry Saturday. Quote, Antonio will now forever be left to believe he is simply a boy. It is heartbreaking, said USAID volunteer Lana Thomas. This poor child won't even know what bathroom to use since we never got to put on our skit on gender fluid bathroom choices. What a tragedy. This is actually the stuff that they were funding is the thing, right? They're funding DEI all over the world. And like, I get trans comic books in Peru. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, this is a joke. This is comedy, but it's real though as well. All right. How do I get that? You know what? I want to find the deadliest. Hold on a second. Give me one sec. Hold on. Give me a second. One sec. Should be in here somewhere. It's probably pinned. Hold on. All right, one more second. Hold on. All right, here we go. Not satire. The Babylon Bee made a movie. January 6th, the most deadliest day. So let's watch the. I've watched this before, but it's pretty good. It looks actually hilarious. Oh.
The heat death. Hiroshima. Nagasaki. The heat death of the universe. These are some of the deadliest days in history. But none of them compare to the most deadliest day. January 6, 2021. Coming soon in the most epic movie event since Robot Jocks, Left Behind, or maybe even Son of the Mask. The Babylon Bee investigates the darkest day in the history of democracy.
Where were you on January 6th?
In January?
I don't remember.
Storming the Capitol, baby. No.
Scary stuff like this happened.
Okay.
So on a scale of 9 to 10, how terrifying was what you just witnessed?
3? I don't know.
We go on location. We bring you 100% true facts.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was murdered over 7 times.
We ask the tough questions.
Is it true that you have a Jewish space laser? This is incredibly boring. Could you explain it to me using Marvel characters?
We even go face to face with the scariest criminals you'll ever meet.
Are you the dangerous insurrection man?
Who's asking?
We're in. Into the lair of darkness I go. Darkness because he's a Republican, not because he's, never mind. Shame! Shame!
This fall, the only way you can save democracy is by becoming a member of the Babylon Bee. So you can see January 6th, the most deadliest day.
Where were you on January 6th?
I was in that mob that was going into the Capitol.
That looks pretty funny. All right. What are you guys saying? Draper says, you had me at budget cuts for government. You don't have to sell it to me. Budget cuts always sounds good. We need some of those in Canada. Rosie says, I do not think anyone is telling AOC what to say. That person would be even less smart. All right. All right. And some talk about commies here. 6 stinking commies. Yep. Commies are bad. We all agree on that. Something we've learned on this show. Let's see. Planet Meme's not even close. Reducing. Hold on. Reducing the size and scope of the government isn't fascism. It does amaze me. It does amaze me. They call Trump, they call a fascist, right? A wannabe dictator. And when he issues an executive order banning the government from infringing on American citizens' free speech rights. Do any of these people know what the word fascism means? Because that's not what they do. They do the opposite of that. In fact, actually, they do what Democrats want to do, weirdly. Because Democrats are the ones who like to censor, the ones who want to make dissent illegal. The bad guys never protect your rights. That's the thing. That's always the bad guys. It's always the bad guys that don't want to do that. They want to, restrict your rights. The good guys never. The good guys never want to pass censorship laws. They never want to make dissent illegal. The good guys always do things like, passing executive orders to ban the government from interfering in your free speech rights. Like, that's what the good guys do, right? The bad guys never do that. It's weird. I mean, it's all pretty simple, really, isn't it? Let's see. Rosie says Babylon Bee takes the absurd and makes it sound normal in the most absurd way. Yeah, they totally took over from The Onion. After The Onion went woke, the Babylon Bee took over, and they're fantastic. Let's see. They don't know what any word means, G Flood says. Well, they redefine the words, right? You know, like fascism are the people that don't want to oppress you. I mean, it's amazing. It shows you how much like politics really is just fashion for so many people. For so many leftists, it's just fashion, right? Because they went from free speech, being totally for free speech, to being totally against free speech overnight, and yet they still call themselves liberal. It's almost like they never actually had any real ethics to begin with, any real principles to begin with. It's just fashion. It's just, I'm with the cool group. I'm with the cool kids. Well, the cool kids aren't so cool anymore, it turns out. What's going on here? Unhinged liberal woman stands next to a pride mural while singing a song she wrote called Trust Black Women. Oh, do they not understand how absurd this is? Let's take a look. From the top.
Trust black women, they lead the way. Trust black women, they lead the way.
But you could have at least come up with your own melody. And what, all of them? Are you saying like every single one?
White women, stop abandoning your sisters. Trust black women, they lead the way. Oh, we're mad as hell. Oh, can't you tell? Oh, we're mad as hell. Can't you tell?
Are they saying mad or retarded? We're retarded as hell. I think they're saying mad, but they really should be saying retarded.
We dissent, you fucking fascists. Oh, we're mad as hell. Can't you tell?
And I don't think they really know what fascist means. But so I get the question I have here is they're singing trust black women. Trust black women. So all black women, I guess. But do they actually mean that? Like, I don't think they actually mean all black women. I don't think they actually mean that, do they? Because what about like a Sage Steele? I don't think they mean trust her. Or like Avita King, MLK's niece, who's not a liberal, she's conservative. Right? What about like Candace Owens? Right? How about her? Because she's a black woman. Should everybody just trust her and let her lead the way? No, they don't actually mean what they're saying, right? They mean only radical woke black women with identical views to their own. So in short, it's bullshit, right? Complete bullshit. This is just identity as a weapon, as an indoctrination tool, right? Because again, they don't mean all. They just mean the ones that agree with them. Like, you know what the funny thing is? Like, I personally do not demand that anybody do anything based on race. I think people should just follow their own conscience. I'm fine with that, right? And that kind of seems to be like the non-racist thing to me. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. Their point is to be blindly obedient to black women, but only those black women who agree with radical left white women. Otherwise, you're out. That's what they mean here. Like, if you get a conservative, if you put Condoleezza Rice in front of them, right? They're not going to say, I trust you, you can lead the way. Guaranteed. It's only those women that agree with these leftist, radical, woke, leftist white women. The whole thing is kind of obscene, wouldn't you say? These people are in a cult, for one. They're trying to recruit other people into their cult. But there is something actually fundamentally quite racist about this. Anyway, I find it quite gross. This once again confirms that liberal women are the most hateful, vile, insufferable, and toxic species on earth. And there they are ranting about the fascists. Let me tell you what, if the United States actually was run by a fascist government, say, not even say, Germany in 1933 to 1945, let's go like Italy or Spain or something, right, where they were fascist, right? They wouldn't be doing this because you can't do that in a fascist state. Because the leaders of the Franco or Mussolini are not going to be passing laws or executive orders that guarantee people's free speech rights, that ban the government from interfering in people's free speech right, people's personal freedoms. They're not going to do that. They're living in a country where their president passed an executive order to protect their right to do what they're doing right there. If you're calling that fascist, you're a fucking retard. Or you're in a cult. Or you just have maybe you've got brain damage. I don't know. But it ain't right. There's something wrong with you at that point. So they should be singing, trust black women as long as they agree with us. Trust black women, they lead the way as long as they obey us. As long as they mindlessly follow everything we say. Then you can trust them and they'll lead the way. But only if, the levels of insanity and stupidity. It makes me think of like that cult in Game of Thrones. Remember that cult in Game of Thrones? The Sparrows or something like that? This is cult-like behavior. And just hypocrites. Hypocrites. It's like the by far the largest, the group that has the largest percentage with mental illness is leftist white women. And, we should never call them liberal women because they're not liberals, right? They're illiberal. So we should just stop calling them liberals. These are not liberals anymore. This isn't your, burnout art teacher from 1985, right? These aren't liberals. These are leftist authoritarians who will just say and do anything, no matter how insane, to get in furtherance of the mind virus that has zombified them, turned them into woke zombies. Right, what are you guys saying? Launchpad says, oh my God, make it stop. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Let's go back to our cooking show again for a minute. Or maybe we'll put on a different educational show. How about the fence show? I always like the fence show. I was never really that big on shows about fences in the past, but this one I really like. Let's see. iCare says, I don't think the Babylon Bee got any USAID money. I'm guessing no. Let's see. Politico got lots of it. New York Times got lots of it as well. Let's see. iCare says eggs are too expensive to throw at her. Not fence lady, but the crazy far leftist women. Streamer says, for fuck's sakes, at least a new tune. It's not even a 60s chant recycled from Sharpton the Race Baiter. It's a child song. Let's see. Deborah Doyle says crazy as. Let's see. Rosie says, if they are not in California, a hose usually works. That's just mean. Like, that's fascist. Let's see. JJ Nevada says, sounds like a bunch of commie gobbledygook. Well, we've got a button for that.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
I think you're right. Let's see. Streamer says, just throw pocket constitutions at them, maybe Federalist Papers. If they don't burst into flames, they will retreat before they learn anything. One thing about once they're like at this point, where were we? Let's see. Once they're at this point where they're doing this on the street, they're too far gone. So nothing can, I think that they're just doomed to the mind virus, to just being a woke zombie for the rest of their lives. Just day after day, just with this need, this kind of unthinking need to spread the mind virus, the insanity. I don't think there's anything you can do. If you threw a constitution at them, it probably would burst into flames upon touching them. At this point, when they're at this point, it's just too far gone. You know, they just have to be ignored at that point. Let's see. JDL asks, what are male Karens called? Marins? I don't know. I don't know what they're called. All right. Streamer says, why do I want to mend a fence now? I don't know. Maybe it's because you're normal. What's going on here? Actually, you know what? I got to take a quick break, you guys. Give me just a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. We'll put on the fence show again. There we go. All right. Thank you for your patience, everybody. I'm back. I'm relieved. I've got fresh ranch juice, which is really good. I recommend it. Okay. Anybody who's not subscribed, subscribe right now. And just go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and do that right now. Also, putting likes on the stream. I think you'll find it quite beneficial. I think it will please you to put a like on the stream. I think you're going to feel good about a lot of things, about yourself, about the show, about the world, about everything. Hey, man, you're making a difference. All right. Here's what I think. So there's this new partner program with Rumble, right? So I got to do, and this is going to be good for the channel if I get it when I get into this. So I got to do 30 hours of live streams in this month to be approved for it. That's no problem. I think I do over 30 hours a month anyway. The only thing is I got to do 5 hours. 5 of those 30 hours have to be premium only content. So a stream that only premium members can watch. I don't even know how to do that. I got to figure it out. But to get in this, to qualify for this partnership program, 5 of the 30 hours, they got to be premium, Rumble premium users only. So that's not going to be everybody. So to make it more fun, we should try and get everybody who is a premium member. We should all agree on a time to do it. So we'll probably do 2 of them, I think, 2.5 hours each. Or maybe we'll just do one long marathon one. I don't know. But we should think of a time. When is good for everybody? We're not going to do it on our normal schedule. So Friday, Sunday, or Tuesday. So it'll have to be like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. So when should we do it? Let's try and come up with something right now, people. When should we do it? When should we do the first one? We'll do it over 2, maybe 3. We'll see how it goes. But we can do lots of fun stuff. So you guys can do requests. We can do an Ask Me Anything. We can do, will Grok do it? We can do it. Is it racist segment? Just whatever you guys want to do. If you guys are interested in something like that Smith Month Act, right? We went in, we looked at that. We can just come up with something you guys have been interested in. We'll do it all together. It'll be fun. Rosie says, did the glitch just happen? I didn't see anything. But I wasn't at the computer. Maybe the glitch happened and then it came back up on its own. I don't know. Let's see. Streamer says, I did get premium for free. Good. So streamers got it. We got a few that have got that are premiums. I don't know if it also applies to people who are subscribers to the channel as well. So I don't mean like a regular subscriber, but the monthly member of the channel. The $5 a month member. I don't know if it applies to that. I hope so. It should. It should, because we've got some of those. Let's see. So when? You guys tell me when. Put it in the chat. Should we do it on... should we do it... What are you guys thinking? Should we do it maybe Monday? What's tomorrow? Thursday? I don't really want to do it tomorrow. Although maybe I'll just do a surprise one. I don't know. But it's good if we all just come up with the same day. And then we can all show up and it'll be more fun that way. Monday. What do you guys think of Monday? Dreamer says, I always thought if you moved it towards an earlier time, like 5 p.m. Central, you get more people, but they may not work for the crowd you're trying to reach for this. I don't know. I mean, we could move it to 5 for Sundays and Tuesdays. I mean, that would be okay. But I think it doesn't work for everybody. Should we say Monday, everybody? We could do 5 p.m. on Monday. Somebody tell me. I think let's just say Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern. We'll do our premium only stream. Let's see. Call it more. I know it has to be probably closer to 6 Central so that people can get home from work. So 5 Pacific is, I think, 7 Central. I think. So I don't know. All right. Well, think about it, you guys. But I think right now, 5 o'clock. I think right now, 5 o'clock Monday Pacific time. So it'll be 8 o'clock Eastern time. And I think that's 7 o'clock Central, I think. Launchpad says Monday works. Monday 210. That would be, I don't know, it's whatever this coming up Monday is. Yeah, I guess 210. And we'll get some of this premium only stuff out of the way. It's not something I want to do because I just want the stream to be open to everybody. But to get into this partner program, I've got to do 5 hours, 5 of the 30 hours for the month. So it just got to be done. But it won't affect the rest of the show because we'll still be doing 3 live streams a week, Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday. But it'll just be an extra one. And yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be really cool. All right. All right, everybody. Let's get on to the next thing. All right. I wonder if I can do an ad. Will they let me do an ad? I don't know. Should I do an ad? Will YouTube still going? Will that be bad? I don't know. I don't think it matters. That's not letting me do one. Nope. There's the glitch. There's that beautiful glitch. There we go. There's the glitch. All right. Ooh, what's this? Folks, Trump is finally back in office, and it's only going to get better from here. As a celebration, Patriot Addict is sending our free Trump red knives to people who voted for Trump. I guess they're not going to be going to any commies, any dirty, filthy commies. This is just their way of saying thank you for supporting him and being part of this moment in history. Normally, this knife retails for $100, but right now you can grab it for just the cost of shipping. Just the cost of shipping. How does this even work? Scan the QR code to the right to apply your 100% off. How often do you see that? 100% off coupon and claim your Trump knife today. You know what to do. Short but sweet. Short but sweet. Radio streamer says ad. Rosie says we hear you. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you so much for letting me know. That's very thoughtful. I'm going to check the X stream very quickly and see what's going on there. Is there anything exciting happening? Let's see. Well, not much, but we just started with it, so hopefully it'll pick up. All right. Radio streamer says 9.4 out of 10, acceptable commie hate. I know there's only one bit of commie hate in there. All right. I have to cough again. And rant juice. Delicious and so good for ranting. What's going on with Canada? I think it's time for some Canada stuff, don't you? All right. Brian Lilly here. Forget the border. Fentanyl is a big and growing issue in Canada. It has been since 2016. Poilievre is the only one looking at solutions. Trudeau has just wanted to hand out opioid pills. He's been going with the progressive view and progressive policies, the harm reduction policies, which actually as it turns out, they should be called life reduction policies, because we ended up with a order of magnitude increase in overdose deaths. So not working. It seems like maybe we should be taking a step back from the, far left progressive drug policies because they're just not working. I mean, look, when I was a younger man, I used to say the war on drugs is crazy. It's obviously not working. We didn't know how bad it would get once there was no war on drugs anymore. Once we went to a progressive attitude and policies on drugs, it turns out it's a lot worse. It seems to me like perhaps we need to go back to the war on drugs and then reassess from there and see what we can do from there. I think that definitely we need more rehabilitation services than we had back then. Absolutely. But this, when you see this on the screen, that tent cities everywhere, that's not working. That's not compassion. That's not empathy. That's just insane suicidal adherence to an ideology and policies that just simply don't work. Not if you're talking about human well-being. Let's take a look at this.
Recognize this place? This is Brandon, Manitoba. Population, just over 50,000. A small, beautiful city like many others that dot the Canadian landscape. Now, imagine if every person in Brandon vanished. Well, since 2016, we've lost a city the size of Brandon to drugs. That's 49,000 Canadian lives lost, more than died fighting for Canada in the Second World War. They are real people, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, fathers, mothers, friends to thousands more. Then there are the countless others now living in the...
You know, we just can't afford to... I mean, if we want to actually be a moral and ethical society that actually cares about human well-being, we just can't keep repeating progressive platitudes about empathy, right? We just can't do that anymore. It doesn't work. It works if you want more people to die, right? If you want an order of magnitude greater number of people dying, then it's great. But I don't think sane people want that, do they? Along with all the attendant drugs and the root destroyed families, the attendant crime, the destroyed families. Sane people don't want that. Maybe it's time to reverse course from, harm reduction, which really is life reduction. Maybe it's time to reverse course and take a step back and go, okay, maybe we've got this wrong. Maybe we need to go back a little bit to a time when less people died, where there was less crime, less destroyed families, and then reassess from there.
Hell of addiction and homelessness. Close to 8 out of 10 of those overdose deaths involve fentanyl. It wasn't like this before the Liberals radically liberalized drugs. Now, Canada has become a drug manufacturing hotspot. Super labs in Canada synthesize the drugs using precursor chemicals, the ingredients that make fentanyl. These labs look like scenes from Breaking Bad, but it's not happening in New Mexico, in a TV drama. It's happening in Canada, in real life, right now. In November 2024, police dismantled what they described as the, quote, largest, most sophisticated illicit drug super lab in the country, in Falkland, British Columbia. One of the accused was out of jail after earlier fentanyl. Now, that might not sound like much first, but remember this, it takes just 2 milligrams of fentanyl to kill a person. That means there was enough fentanyl found in this lab alone to kill 27 million people. But it gets worse. Police found enough ingredients to make over 95 million lethal doses, enough to kill every Canadian twice. Police also found 390 kilograms of methamphetamine, small explosives, ammunition, silencers, high-capacity magazines, body armor, $500,000 in cash, and 89 firearms, many of which were, quote, loaded and ready to be used. Days earlier, police discovered a super lab in Langley, BC, that they say was capable of producing multiple kilograms of fentanyl on a weekly basis. A Government of Canada report confirmed, and I quote, seizures of Canada-sourced fentanyl in places like the US and Australia suggest that domestic production is likely exceeding domestic demand and that Canada is now a source and transit country for fentanyl to some markets. The number of seizures of fentanyl at the Canada-US border more than tripled between 2023 and 2024, rising from 239,000 doses to 839,000. How did this happen? Well, the NDP Liberals happened. They legalized fentanyl possession in BC, told prosecutors to stop pursuing drug offenders, and worst of all, passed Bill C-5, which eliminated mandatory jail time for the production and trafficking of hard drugs like fentanyl, encouraging the worst criminals to come back into our communities and take up shop here. The Falkland Super Lab that police discovered had ties to a transnational criminal network that spans from Mexico all the way to China. They're killing our people and many in other countries.
Of course, I was muted there. My point is this. Maybe we need to go back to the war on drugs. Maybe it wasn't so bad. You can call that regressive if you like, right? But I want something that works. I think people just want something that works. What's happening currently, not working, right? And what are the consequences? Well, the consequences are dire, the most dire: death, crime, destroyed families. Like, we have to take that seriously. Platitudes are not enough. In fact, platitudes seem to be hurting. We don't need somebody who's going to get up in front of a microphone and tell everybody how virtuous they are and how empathetic and compassionate they are. Right? We need somebody who's going to stand up and be serious and take it seriously and have serious solutions, maybe even tough solutions, right? Might even have to be kind of mean sometimes. But maybe that's not the worst thing. Maybe you kind of need that. Maybe you need something that, the most sensitive people, the most emotionally unstable people, maybe you need somebody that is going to upset the most sensitive, the most emotionally unstable people in your country. Because doing what they say doesn't work, obviously. It just makes everything worse, tragically worse. So maybe we need to return to something like the war on drugs and then reassess again. Like, absolutely, we need rehabilitation services that weren't available in the past, for sure. Let's combine that. Maybe we'll see, harsh sentences, serious pragmatic laws and sentencing, plus rehabilitation. Maybe that's a better solution than just, well, anything goes. Overdosing on fentanyl is a totally valid lifestyle choice. I don't think that it is. Let's continue.
Which is now endangering our trade with our closest ally. President Trump has said the reason that he's tariffing Canada is because of lethal drugs flowing over the border. Whether we agree with him or not, we shouldn't be taking action to stop drugs just to please him. We should do it so that not one more mother must bury her face in her hands in agony after her son overdosed and died in a back alley. We must stop the drugs to save our people and to put Canada first. It starts with locking up mass traffickers and manufacturers of this poison with penalties that fit the crime. But what is the crime? Let's call mass fentanyl trafficking what it is: mass murder. Selling 40 milligrams of this poison is enough to kill 20 people. It's like spraying bullets into a crowd. You might not know who you are killing, but statistically, it's certain that someone will die. That's why I'm announcing today, as part of my Canada First plan, that common sense conservatives will bring in mandatory prison sentences, including life sentences for anyone caught trafficking, producing, or exporting over 40 milligrams of fentanyl, and 15 years for traffickers caught with between 20 milligrams and 40 milligrams. The people we will lock away are not non-violent drug addicts. People with addiction are the real victims of these traffickers. And my government will offer them life-saving treatment and recovery services. Nor are we targeting the small-time dealer on a street corner, though he will face penalties too. Rather, my new law will treat fentanyl kingpins who kill thousands of Canadians each year like the mass murderers they are. By locking up the big bosses and throwing away the key, we will cut the head off the poisonous fentanyl snake. All of this to save lives, bring our loved ones home drug-free, secure free trade, and most of all, put Canada first.
Well, he says there's going to be consequences for the low-level dealers on the street too. They have to be serious consequences. Like it actually has to. You have to take it really seriously. Like clearly, infinite compassion isn't working. Clearly, that's not working at this point. So again, I think we're going to have, and I think it'll be very popular. By the way, when people see that the armies of drug zombies are no longer loitering about everywhere eventually, when you're not getting stranger attacks, people being stabbed in Canadian cities every day for no reason, just because somebody is mentally ill and high on whatever. I think that will be popular, right? I think that'll be more popular than platitudes about empathy and compassion, all that. It's none of it's compassion. I tell you what, an order of magnitude greater overdose deaths is not compassion. That's not empathy. It's just worse. It's just worse. It's just a human tragedy. So I think I think Canadians are ready for this kind of message because what's been going on hasn't been working. It's a bunch of false promises by liars, by ideologues, by people who don't actually care about the consequences of their ideology and don't seem even able to change their minds or just to see reason. It's like I've said many times on here, the woke, the progressives, okay, they're not trying to fit their ideology into the world. They're trying to fit the world into their ideology, and they're breaking it. All right. So something's got to happen. Let's see. So Pierre Poilievre talking about we need a new trading partner. Well, there's all kinds of barriers to trade within Canada between the provinces, and he's looking to break down those barriers. It seems to make a lot of sense. For one thing, we need like a cross-Canada pipeline, right? In order for Alberta to send oil east, it has to actually go through the States first. So that's a bit of a problem with the whole tariffs things as well, if you're fighting back against the tariffs. But we won't watch that whole thing. I don't think we need to. How about this? Trudeau-funded CBC called Pierre Poilievre's video on his plan to boost internal trade a rant. A rant. CBC claims conservatives rant while liberals convene. This is tough. I've seen her before. She just can't. She just wears her hatred for conservatives on her sleeve. Yeah, this comes less than 24 hours after one of their reporters implied Poilievre shouldn't run against their liberal boss. CBC. Let's take a look. At $1.4 billion worth of taxpayer money.
He has a new video out this morning, Janice, and he's unveiled a proposal of his own to improve the economic competitiveness in this country in the face of the tariffs we're talking about. What is he now saying?
That's right. This morning, Pierre Poilievre has let fly on a new video rant. It lays out how a future Conservative government would tackle a perennially persistent problem, that is interprovincial trade barriers. Remember, Federal Minister Anita Anand convened a meeting just last Friday about figuring out what they might be able to do on this front.
He has a new video out this morning, Janet.
So I sometimes say that Canadian corporate media is more insidious. It's obviously left-leaning, more than left-leaning, but it's more insidious than American. It would like MSNBC, CNN, they're just blatantly out there cheerleading. With the CBC, with the Canadian media, it's more insidious. It's more like this, like a rant. He's letting go with a rant, Pierre Poilievre. It's just that framing all the time. And you can see, I mean, just her face, just talking, just the distaste on her face, just talking about a conservative leader. Oh, he's ranting. He's ranting. And in fact, let's give you another example here. Hold on. So here's another example. So CBC reporter asked Pierre Poilievre to step aside so Canada could fight this tariff war. Let's hear this. This is how they operate.
Do you believe the government's promise of $155 billion in counter tariffs is enough? And what would you do differently to get the president to change course? And to clarify your last question, are you saying that you would step aside and not compete for the head of the country to allow us to get through this crisis? Or I'm unclear about your answer to the last question.
Well, I find it a strange question. Your CBC is asking me to step aside in the next election. It's a very strange request. No, we're not going to suspend democracy. The Canadian people run this country, and they will choose the next prime minister. Thank you very much. Next question.
Thank you. Next question.
Do you believe that?
So, I mean, her phrasing there, she's pretending to not understand what he just said. Obviously, Pierre Poilievre is not going to stand aside. That's idiotic. She can't possibly have thought that he would say that he had actually said that. That's unless she's a complete idiot. I mean, there's just no universe in which Pierre Poilievre would say that. But it's framing, right? It's that insidiousness of the Canadian media. They don't like him, but they don't go full like Joy Reid or Rachel Maddow, or Don Lemon or Anderson Cooper or Jake Tapper, right? They do it more. They're sneakier in Canada. The way they do it is a little bit sneakier. It's just letting the public know that, not really acceptable. We don't really like them. They're bad in some way. Because she is not going to talk about, they're not going to talk about, they've never talked about Trudeau's rants, and Trudeau has ranted a lot.
Small fringe minority.
Trudeau has done his share of ranting, believe me. But they'll never frame him that way. This is how they do it. Their sneaky little way of doing it. All right. Now, why do they hate him? Well, I can tell you why CBC hates him. I mean, for one thing, he's going to cut out the subsidies for all of the corporate media in Canada, but CBC stands to lose the most. They get $1.4 billion from Trudeau. Brian Lilly, people keep asking me if Pierre Poilievre will really defund CBC. So he asked him. Let's take a look.
Let me ask you about CBC because it is one of the biggest applause lines at any of your rallies.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. Back when you were still running for leader, it was that way. Since you've become leader, people go crazy when you say that. And not saying don't do it. They want it done now. I keep getting asked, do you really think he's going to do it? And I say,
yes, I am going to do it.
Okay, then tell us. How quick?
Very quick.
So
very quick.
That doesn't mean you're shutting them down, right?
I'm going to defund CBC. That's my commitment. I said my commitment has been the same since I first said it at my very first leadership rally in Regina. I said, we will defund the CBC to save $1 billion. That was my commitment then. It's my commitment now.
Yeah, CBC they still manage to get some advertising revenue somehow, but they won't get the funding from the government anymore. And please, 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 please do that. They're done. You know what? In one sense, in a part of my mind, it's sad. I remember CBC growing up as a kid, and it was actually great back then. But it's just turned into this woke propaganda nightmare at this point. It doesn't represent Canadians at all. It represents
small fringe minority.
And unfortunately, it just has to go at this point, right? I mean, not even has to, it just has to be defunded. If it can make it on its own, fine, right? All power to it. Maybe it'll change. But tax dollars, $1.4 billion can't be going to this propaganda arm of the Liberal government. I'm sorry, it's obscene, it's gross, it's undemocratic. It's just wrong. So, yeah, please, Pierre Poilievre, he has to do it, by the way. He has to do it, or else conservatives will be furious at him. And I think he means it. I mean, you know what? There's this example that's been set by Trump, whereby, Pierre Poilievre, I think, has picked up on it. He realized, Trump showed Western conservatives, that there's no point playing the media's game, because they will win when you play their game. So you just have to not play their game and just say what you actually think. You can't apologize. You can't worry about how they're framing things. Pierre Poilievre very famously in the Apple video did what I'm talking about. He didn't play the guy's game, right? A conservative leader of the past would have said, when asked, apparently extremists really like you. Well, what do you have to say about that? Would have gone, oh no, when he would have started apologizing and saying how Pierre Poilievre was just like, who? What? The guy had no idea what to do, because he was expecting that what normally would happen was that he would frame the conservative badly. The conservative would fall all over himself, apologizing and saying I'm not the thing that you think, and blah blah blah. I'm actually really left wing or something. Pierre Poilievre learned you don't have to just don't play their game. Throw it back in their face, because there's no winning their game, right? And here, with DOGE, with Trump just taking an axe to everything that's terrible, to everything bad, right? With all of his executive orders on the first day. I mean, that's an example. Like, actually just do it. Just do what you said you were going to do. And I think that after that, it kind of puts politics in a different light. There's different expectations for conservatives across the West after seeing what Trump is doing in the United States. And I'm sure that Pierre Poilievre is paying attention to that. So here's one thing. Here's one promise he's made. He has to do it. He has to. It will be a catastrophe for him if he doesn't. All right. What are you guys saying? Let's get to the chat. Let's go back to the fence show. Let's see. G Flood says half of those reporters really are stupid. The other half are manipulating stupid people by talking like them. I think some of them really are just totally, parasitized by the woke mind virus, and some of them are just cynical. iCare says, I say very harsh prison sentences for makers, distributors of fentanyl. Yeah, I think that has to be the case now, right? If you want to stop it. Like, you can't, platitudes aren't doing it. Let's see. Streamer says, oh yes, a set of well thought out sentences and paragraphs. That's a rant, all right. It's just their sneaky, insidious way of framing. Let's see. Nevada says, that's the problem. They put it in everything now because it's cheaper. You talk about fentanyl. Yeah. It is terrible. Nevada says, yes, we have to try something to stop it. Yeah, it's going to take a look. It's going to require going back to things that worked better, which were harsher, and for leftists, meaner, right? For progressives, meaner, way meaner, right, than platitudes. But, I mean, if you want to stop people from dying at the same scale, you might have to actually get kind of tough. Chuck E. Cheese asks, are you Canadian? I am Canadian. Let's see. Streamer says, also, what the hell is wrong with a rant? A good rant is why I'm here. It's your main skill set. With that, I better take another sip of rant juice. I don't want to disappoint. G Flood says, a lot of wisdom comes from ranting. It's true. On this channel, for sure. Let's see. iCare says, yippee, his balls are growing. Well, I think honestly, I think that the influence, one of the reasons I thought it was so important for Trump to win, and yes, do I love the tariff stuff? No, I don't. But I'm looking longer scale here. I have a broader look at this, and we're looking at the future of Western civilization, right? And what Trump did by getting elected was made it okay to just accurately describe reality again. which is poison, it's an antidote to wokeness. And he showed that there is political capital in that, actually just describing reality accurately, like talking about the border, talking about, illegal immigration, mass immigration, just accurately describing what's happening. And that's what is happening with DOGE, with USAID, exposing the insane, wasteful, and crazy spending. That's just accurately describing what's happening. That's why the Democrats are freaking out. They don't want an accurate description of reality. They don't want people having an accurate view of what's happening in the world around them, because that doesn't profit them. Fantasies are what profits them. And you see the result of that, harm reduction, they call it. That's a euphemism. It's life reduction. Let's see. And there was a little bit of a rant there. There we go. Radio Streamer says it could be worse, Rosie. He could be funded by Big Update Now. We're not going on an update rant. We're not. They keep sending it to me, though, even though I've ranted a lot about it. Still every single one. I told them, no, I don't want it. I tell them that every time I press it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. It's not only now the OBS. Now it's also my video editor as well. They're doing it every time. And guess what? If you do press update, guess what? Well, now you get signed up, because I own the program, but then you get signed up to some monthly thing, and there's all these wonderful new features that you have, and I don't want them. I don't need them. Everything works perfectly. Hey, look, I don't like change. I want everything to stay exactly the same as it is, the way that I like it. I don't need these goddamn updates, right? Every single time. And how do you get out of it? Do I have to write a letter to somebody? No, I don't want the update. Fuck the update. I like it the way it is. I don't need your change. Progress. I don't need your progress. Not all progress is good. Sometimes, the old ways just work better. The old software just works better. It's the editing software. It's the streaming software. God damn it. Why won't they leave me alone? Just leave me alone in my little house. I like it here. It's warm. Everything works properly. I just know everything's going to work when I turn it on. I don't have to be worried. I don't have to have anxiety. What's going to happen? I'm going to be able to stream tonight because I pressed the fucking update button. Who controls these update buttons? I think there's some warehouse in China. I think the Chinese are behind this, the Chinese Communist Party. They're just putting in these update buttons to fuck everybody up, to destroy productivity in the West, to destroy the productivity of anti-communist streamers like myself, so that when you turn on the software and you're ready to stream, all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. What happened? Why did that happen? They said it was going to make everything better. They said it was going to make my life better. All these wonders and marvels of new updates and technology. And guess what? Now the fucking stream doesn't work. It's the communists behind it. I think we all know that, don't we? I think we all realize that it's communists behind these goddamn updates. How often do you need to update something, by the way, at home? I bet you could never update anything again for the rest of your life, and it'd be just fine. All this software works pretty damn good, doesn't it? So why? Why is it necessary? It's to hurt you. It's to hurt you. This is leftism. This is communism. This is the Chinese Communist Party trying to destroy your life, to destroy your heritage and your history and your family and the nuclear family as well. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. All right, Rumble Premium. This sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. Hey, that's me. They didn't censor or have biases. They weren't communists either. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration communists. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France, I think also Brazil. They are attacked for brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. That's the problem. Watching this show on Rumble is the most we can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. It's the most important right. Without that, you got nothing. Rumble is offering $10 off, so this is a hell of a deal. $10 off with the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Promo code STUDIO, you need that for the $10 off, my friend. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we're just happy if you watch us on Rumble. And you'll need to be a premium member to watch my premium-only live stream. 5 hours of it this month. That was a good palate cleanser after the update rant. Nevada says, stinking commie updates. I don't tell me about it. Actually, don't tell me about it. You'll set me off on another rant. Radio Streamer, 10 out of 10 would provoke. I'm not saying it. Rosie, ad read normally 9.8 out of 10. Following that rant, 7.8 out of 10. What? Why do I go down after the rant? That was a hell of a rant. Oh, I see. By comparison to the rant. I see. I gave you too much. Radio Streamer, 8.8 out of 10. Acceptable levels of commie hate. You're right, Rosie. He set the bar too high, jumped the shark early. Oh, well, that's kind of depressing. Icare says, brilliant rant. Brilliant rant. I've been saving that up for a long time. You guys have been trying to provoke me into an update rant for like months now. And I keep resisting, but you guys keep at it. Eventually you got me. Icare says epic rant. Radio Streamer says, what have I wrought? That rant almost destroyed the universe. Let's see. Rosie says, I still think CBC has USAID funding. I went on the usspending.gov to see if I could find it, but the site wasn't working. I think a lot of people are on there. Rosie says, 11 out of 10 rant. You guys love a good update rant. Let's see. JDL says, Radio Baloney is bilingual Canadian and American. That's right. I speak both. Let's see. And I can, a tiny bit of Spanish. I can say, ¿Dónde está el baño, por favor? Let's see. All right. All right, let's keep going. What are we doing now? We're doing the, oh yeah, okay. So we're doing the Pierre Poilievre stuff. Let's see where we can go from here. All right. What else did we have? Here's another thing that they do. So the CBC, I told you they're insidious, right? CBC does it again. This must be the new CBC news policy. Don't show Pierre Poilievre speaking, but CBC-splain what he said. I've noticed them doing this repeatedly where they won't actually, they'll show Carney, they'll show Freeland, they won't show Pierre Poilievre. They'll show Jugmeat. They won't actually show Pierre Poilievre speaking. They just interpret it. They CBC-splain, as it says in this tweet. Let's take a look.
Meanwhile, while this is all going on, conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has come out this afternoon and has been talking up what he calls his Canada First plan, basically what he would do if he were prime minister in this situation. He talks about a number of measures to beef up interprovincial trade. He talks about one standard set of trucking rules, which would make it.
Yeah, you've got the clip. Just show it. Just show what he says, but you don't want to. Oh, hold on. Do they show him here? Let's take a look.
State. Here's what Pierre Poilievre had to say.
Canada is an independent country. We will never be the 51st state, and we will have a strong and independent country. And by the way, my Canada First plan will make us more independent and less reliant on the Americans.
Now, many of the
Well, why not just show the whole clip then instead of reading a bunch of stuff beforehand? It's so it really is insidious. They're sneaky. You know what? They're sneaky snakes. That's what we call them. Sneaky snakes. Let's see. CBC Watcher. CBC didn't show Poilievre's speech yesterday. They've instead critiqued parts of it for the last 22 hours. All right. Yeah, this is this is what they do. All right. So I think we've seen all that. What else have we got? Have we seen all of this? We have. All right. Let's move on. Maybe we'll just go to, I don't think we need to see that. Let's just go to this. Let's go to the last tab. We're 2 hours and 50 minutes in. Let's see. Radio Streamer says, not sneaky snakes. Hopefully we can call them unemployed. Well, a lot of this, there will be cuts at the CBC if they're defunded because they're so used to just being terrible and getting away with it and still getting funded. And just being basically a weird, woke propaganda arm of the Liberal Party that I think they've lost those muscles that they would need to actually be able to be profitable on their own, to provide a product that people would want. So I think they're doomed without the funding. Let's see. iCare says updates could allow Rosie, for example, to be your co-host, i.e. StreamYard. Just thinking. Well, I mean, that is a fun idea. But the thing is, you have to understand is that I'm a lone wolf. So I'm like the wind, you know? I'm a lone wolf. I can't be caged, right? I'm like the wind. I can't be caged. I just go right through the bars because I'm like wind. I'm like a lone wolf. I have to walk alone. It's just the way that it is. It's just my nature. But I don't know, maybe one day. I don't know, whatever. But yeah. All right. Lone wolf, everybody. Lone wolf. I think that there it would be fun, but lone wolf. I'm the white wolf. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Well, we already saw this stuff. So here, the overwhelming majority of Democrats also support keeping biological men out of women's sports. So this is the new White House press secretary. And let's take a look. And it's worth noting she's not a gross leftist.
And I would also just add one more thing. This is a wildly popular position with the American people. In fact, there was a new poll recently that showed the overwhelming majority of Democrats also support keeping biological men out of women's sports. And so I know the president is very excited about the bill signing that will take place at 3 o'clock this afternoon. You will hear from him more on that later. And I would also just add one more thing.
It's so weird, right? That like the left keeps running on things that aren't popular, yet they've had great success getting elected, right? Why is that? It's because of the machine. the machine that covers for them, that lies to the public about what they say, what they want, and what they're doing. But, with social media, this is why there's so much anger at Elon for actually allowing dissent on X, right? Because the machine is losing control, and they're very angry about it. And they're absolutely panicking and writhing in agony now as Trump just bulldozes over them, right? You've got DOGE going in and finding all of this insane, ridiculous spending. But anyway, let's continue. So how much money does NPR get? In wokeness, the number one challenge that we see is the First Amendment. That's NPR's CEO. She's also been talking about the need to censor dissent. I think she did a TED Talk, or maybe she was at the World Economic Forum. I'm sure she's done both. Let's take a look here. So this is a journalist.
The number one challenge here that we see and is, of course, the First Amendment in the United States is a fairly robust protection of rights. And that is a protection of rights both for platforms, which I actually think is very important, that platforms have those rights to be able to regulate what kind of content they want on their sites. But it also means that it is a little bit tricky to really address some of the real challenges of where does bad information come from and sort of the influence peddlers who have made a real market economy around it. The number one challenge here that
sounds like she doesn't really like the First Amendment. Sounds like she wants to censor everybody. Who would have thunk it? A leftist that wants authoritarian control over speech. Who would have guessed? What a shocker. Absolutely shocking. Hold on one second. All right. I want to just quickly check the X stream and see what's going on there. I don't think it tells me how many are actually live at any given moment. All right. If you're on X, anybody watching on X right now, it looks like there's maybe 22 people over. Try the chat. I want to see if the chat works. Try throwing something in there. Type in like test or something. Just see if it's working. That's a request. All right. We know that the chat is working just fine on Rumble. Guess it's going crazy. All right. Let's see. Well, it's not going crazy, but it's working. There's lots of chat on Rumble. There's always lots of chat on Rumble. All right. What's going on here? Is this one that Rosie sent me? I can't remember. I know I put some of Rosie's in here.
It's the second thing we wrote. Out of all the things to write when starting a country, the second thing they wrote down is you better get a gun. The first thing they wrote down is you can say what you want, and then they were like, oh, but you better get a gun if you want to do that. It's the second.
Well, that is why dictators always want to take away people's ability to defend themselves, isn't it? Right? I think he's got a point there. All right. This is just cool, actually. So some dads play catch with their kids, others trade licks. This is just really cool. It's kind of heartwarming, too, actually. Let's watch. So that definitely just got the YouTube stream demonetized. But they all get demonetized anyway. Pretty awesome. That's pretty damn good. That is, for my money, one of the greatest rock and roll solos of all time. No questions asked. That's a great, brilliant solo. What are you guys saying? Great song, I care says it is. Let's see. Drama says no chat on X Premium only. Okay. Let's see, because there is no chat going on over there. Let's see. I care says something weird happened. Said bad gateway. I'm on Brave. That was I don't know. I don't use Brave, so I don't know. Let's see. How many hours do we have to do on Rumble Premium? 5 hours on Rumble Premium, and then I will, as long as I do 30 hours of live streaming this month, which I think I normally do pretty easily. I think I usually do well over that. But 5 of those have got to be Rumble Premium to qualify for the partnership program, which I definitely want to get onto. Let's see. Rosie says, talented kid too. Yeah, he's very good. He's very good. Where is it? I don't know where that is. But anyway, they're good. That's like really nice. That's just nice, right? That's just really nice. That makes you feel good. That's like, that's much better than, listening to cynical politicians. Do we want to watch that one? We might roll it up pretty soon. Let's see. With 3 hours, so we're now 8 hours into. I've done 8 of the 30 hours for the month, so we should break the 30 pretty easily. What's this? I think Rosie sent this one. Bro accidentally spoke his thoughts out loud. Let's see. Is this gonna go well?
Oh, nice tits. I mean, shot. Nice shot.
We've all been there. All right. What's going on here? So this is some derangement here. This Dash Dabrowski, Donald Trump just folded to Mexico and paused his anticipated tariffs against them for 1 month after the stock market crashed. In other words, Trump caved. This is delusional. What a strange, that's the Gen Z perspective. Really? Because then they just sent like 10,000 troops to the border. Let's see. Hold on. I'm sure the internet has something to say about it. Let's see. Mustachio James says, this is the rules for radicals approach, where they report the opposite of the truth and accuse their enemy of what they're doing. In this case, caving to pressure. Well, let's see. Trump failing means Mexico sends 10,000 troops to the border and to fight cartels. What a cave from stupid Trump. Well, yeah, it is the rules for radical thing, right? Where you just accuse your enemy of doing what you're doing. So strange, but I guess there's money to be made in that. Hold on a sec. What else do we got here? We're not far right, just right so far. Seems that way. I mean, when far right is just literally common sense, like secure borders, it doesn't mean anything anymore, right? What's this? 10 simple steps to destroy Western civilization. Sound familiar, Canada, America, and Europe? I think that it will. Let's take a look.
If I wanted to destroy Western civilization, here's 10 things I'd do. First, I'd ideologically capture the education system and promote a worldview that labels everyone as either privileged or oppressed. Second, I'd convince the youth that individual autonomy is a myth and that collective factors such as group identity determine social outcomes. Third, I'd tell the intellectually malleable youth that protesting in the name of the oppressed is the highest moral act an individual can undertake. Fourth, I'd weaponize civil rights and create an environment where all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Fifth, I'd distort history and portray Western idols, such as the Founding Fathers, as uniquely evil and promote the idea that societal progress is only ever achieved through revolution. Sixth, I'd claim that all Western traditions, whether religious or not, are outdated and that intellectual maturity means assuming that old means wrong. Seventh, I'd degrade all Western culture and replace it with art, media, and entertainment that promotes moral degeneracy, promiscuity, and hedonism. Eighth, I'd discredit the nuclear family by claiming it is a form of oppression while simultaneously emphasizing the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents. Ninth, I'd say that all behavioral problems are either the fault of societal factors or psychiatric disorders that only psychiatrists can understand and mind-numbing pharmaceuticals can solve. 10th, I'd create an atmosphere of terror by constantly promoting existential crises and say that international organizations such as the United Nations are the only hope for mankind.
So I can't argue with any of that. I mean, a big part of it is that, it is a cultural revolution that's been going on, right? So, I think that everybody watching this right now is part of the counter revolution. But, a big part of the cultural revolution is, and it was mentioned in there, is that everything old is bad. And that's directly from the Cultural Revolution in China, right? With the four olds, right? Old ideas, the history, everything. Everything that wasn't, everything older than 15 minutes is bad. And even that thing that's, in 15 minutes, the thing that's good may be bad itself, because that's progress, right? That's progressivism. So, hit your history, your entire history, your founders, your ancestors, everything bad. Unless it was just made up 15 minutes ago, it's bad. And of course, it has to be left wing. It has to be Marxist too. So, yeah, I'm not arguing with this guy. I think he's onto something there. Let's see. Do we want to? I think we're getting close to the end here. He speaks here from Defiant L's. Here's Tom Homan here, and he's speaking to something which I have just been astonished over. I've mentioned it many times here, that it's just so weird that you had a president of the United States who was clearly, obviously inviting and facilitating an invasion of people into his own country illegally, and he had the media backing him. He had the media doing apologetics for him. The most bizarre thing I've ever seen. He had the whole Democratic Party behind this, just this massive gaslighting operation of something that was just clearly just happening in open view. So let's hear what he has to say about it.
Joe Biden is the first president in history of this nation who came into office and unsecured a border on purpose. Not by mismanagement, not by incompetence. They unsecured a border by design. The first day I smiled when President Trump won this election. I woke up the next morning, I was happy. I smiled for the first time in a long time. Then I got angry again. Because even though they lost the election, they're still moving thousands of illegal aliens in this country every day. CBP One app still running. They're selling pieces of the border wall, for God's sakes, that you, the American taxpayers, paid for at a hefty price, and now we got Biden again. There is no smooth transition. They're going to destroy this country up to the last day they're in the Oval Office. But I got news for them. January 20th, the greatest president in my lifetime is going to walk into the Oval Office and take this country back.
I think the reason why these radical, these crazy leaders, totally corrupt leaders, I think the reason they get away with what they do, like a Trudeau, for instance, is because it's just hard for people to believe it's actually happening. Like, it's so crazy. Like, a president of the United States intentionally flooding his own country with illegal aliens to the point where he's flying them in. Like, it sounds crazy. It certainly 20 years ago, like, that would have been completely unimaginable. Nobody would have believed you if you'd said, there's going to be this president called Joe Biden, and this is what he's going to do. He's going to sue Texas to prevent them from putting up barriers to stop people flooding into Texas illegally. Nobody would believe it, right? It's just, and I think it's a problem. This stuff is so crazy that people can't really grasp it, that like it's real. I think it's like that with like the sex changes for children thing, the chemical castration of children, like, I think it's difficult for people to grasp. It's actually real. They're actually doing this, the puberty blocker stuff. Maybe they just kind of keep some kind of vague kind of idea of it in their mind, couched with a bunch of platitudes about compassion or something like that. But the reality of it, I think, is so hard to actually come to terms with and deal with. It's hard for people to deal with it, and they don't really want to believe it, or they don't want to directly confront the consequences and what it all means. And I think that's why they've gotten away with it for so long. People like Trudeau, people like Biden, leaders in the UK, and now people are waking up because the consequences are too dire to ignore anymore. But I think it took a while because it just simply, people just couldn't process it. It's just too surreal. It's too alternate universe stuff. And this, I mean, what he's talking about, again, we've talked about that on this channel many, many times. It's surreal, it's weird, it's hard to actually believe. All right. What's going on here? Sudden Unexpected said, tell the scientists they can drink it then. So drink what? Let's see. Is it the grossest thing in the world? Scientists find that cockroach milk is 4 times more nutritious than cow's milk. I'm almost throwing up while I'm reading this. Cockroach milk. Can that be real? No, that can't be real. You know what? This can't be real. You know, we're going to do a fact check. Hold on. I think I got suckered here. Fact check. All right, we'll ask Grok. Hold on. Hold on. I'm about to feel embarrassed because I think I've just been had. All right, come on. Oh my God. Cockroach milk is a real thing, though not in the conventional sense of milk as we know it from mammals. Here's the breakdown. Source in nature. Cockroach milk comes from a Pacific beetle cockroach, known scientifically as I can't read that. This species is unique because it gives birth to live. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Nutritional content. Okay, I'm about to throw up again. Research indicates that cockroach milk could be highly nutritious. It contains protein crystals that are said to be more calorie dense than dairy milk. According to various studies, these crystals contain a high concentration of proteins, fats, sugars, and essential amino acids, making it a complete food, as in completely disgusting food in terms of nutrition. Harvesting. The process of obtaining cockroach milk is quite labor intensive and involves killing the pregnant cockroach and its embryos to extract the milk crystals from their midgut. This method makes mass production impractical. Oh, darn. Some researchers have suggested that the proteins could potentially be synthesized through genetic engineering in yeast, but this is still in the speculative stage where I hope it remains. So while cockroach milk exists and has been explored for its potential nutritional benefits, it remains far from being a practical or widely accepted food source for human consumption. Yes, obviously, it's goddamn cockroach milk. Let's ask Grok something else. Has the WEF advocated for human consumption of cockroach milk? If not, who has? Okay, grammar be damned. Let's see. The World Economic Forum has not directly advocated for the human consumption of cockroach milk. However, the WF has been involved in discussions about alternative protein sources. Sorry, I had to cough. Including insects as part of broader sustainability and food, blah, blah, blah. So this is why I wonder, because the WF does want you to eat the bugs, but apparently they haven't specifically said cockroach milk. Let's see. Advocates for cockroach milk. Scientists at the Institute of Stem Cell Biology and Regenerative Medicine in India have studied cockroach milk for its nutritional potential. Their research has been cited in various publications discussing the potential of cockroach milk as a superfood, as a super gross food due to its high nutritional content. Well, then they can have it 100%. I don't want it. I don't care what they tell me about cockroach milk. I don't want cockroach milk. Cockroach milk is gross. It's about the most disgusting, gross thing imaginable. I'm not sure I could think of something more disgusting to drink than cockroach milk. I bet you even cockroaches are grossed out by cockroach milk. It's really gross. It's just flat out disgusting. It's disgusting beyond belief. It's disgusting beyond imagination. What is wrong with these scientists? Why would they even start on this? Hey, I've got an idea. Let's see if we can get people to drink cockroach milk. That's where it should have ended. No, nobody's going to want to drink it. Do you know why? Do you know why, scientist friend? Because that's fucking disgusting. That is disgusting. You're better off not having anything to drink. You're not. The phrase fate's worse than death comes to mind here. That's gross. I can live the rest of my life very happily without cockroach milk. Although just knowing about it is reducing my quality of life, probably for the rest of my life. Just knowing that this is a possibility is making my life worse. I don't even need to go anywhere near cockroach milk. Just knowing that it exists has made my life worse. On my deathbed, did I have any regrets? Yes. Finding out about cockroach milk reduced my quality of life, my happiness. I wish that had never happened. Let's see. Outlets like NPR, CNN, and Forbes have reported on these scientific findings, sometimes with a speculative angle on future food trends. So no wonder. Yeah, I'm not surprised NPR, CNN, and Forbes want you to drink the cockroach milk because it's good for you. It's a superfood. I don't know what's going on. What is happening in the world? No, just looking at that makes me nauseous. All right. iCare says insects have non-digestible and small intestine protein causes cancer. Insects. Now, I believe they call the shell like the exoskeleton like chitin, I think, and that's has very bad allergic reactions for a lot of people, and it's not digestible, and it's just about like who in the world eats bugs unless they have to? I get it if there's nothing else to eat. You got to eat something. But like there's where's the 5-star Michelin restaurant that's got bugs? The special is a cockroach milk and I don't know, stewed something, right? Stewed cockroaches and cockroach milk. It doesn't exist. People don't eat bugs unless they absolutely have to. That's true the world over. If you can afford a steak, you're having a steak. What should we have tonight? The steak or the bugs? Everybody's choosing the steak. Would you like some cockroach milk with that? Fuck no. In fact, just throw it out. Don't throw it out in the house. Don't even pour it down the drain. Take it miles from here and just throw it somewhere. Just knowing that exists is bad for you. Let's see. What's going on here? Radio Streamer says, so let me get this straight. Human feces in Japan has been turned into lab meat. We covered that. That's also totally disgusting. And now they want you to wash it down with cockroach milk, apparently. So they want to grow meat out of shit and then have you drink the cockroach milk and I guess some chocolate-covered crickets for dessert. No thanks. I don't want to live in future dystopia insect world and food grown out of human shit world. No thanks. That sounds dystopian to me. Yep. iCare says Davos is in on it. World Economic Forum billionaires are supporting these articles, news whores to promote this agenda. It's just gross that you can't socially or socially engineer people to that point. Let's see. Reader Shimmer says, I mean, snails are a thing. I have had snails before. I think that's less gross than cockroach milk, though. G-Flut says, chitin is likely to trigger a shellfish allergy if you got one. And also, it's fucking gross. A cockroach is totally exoskeletal, iCare says. JDL says chocolate-covered grasshoppers, but it'll be chocolate made out of human shit, probably. They'll grow it out of sewage somehow. Let's see. Puffington Pete says they experimented in third world countries, first that have no laws on humanity. Probably USAID funded it. All right. I think we should watch this one last thing before we go. So, from Alpha Fox, the godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton, gives some ominous words about his creation. Interviewer, AI was designed by people. He says, no, it wasn't. That is kind of scary. Let's take a look.
Does humanity know what it's doing?
No. I think we're moving into a period when, for the first time ever, we may have things more intelligent than us.
You believe they can understand?
Yes.
You believe they are intelligent?
Yes.
You believe these systems have experiences of their own and can make decisions based on those experiences?
In the same sense as people do, yes.
Are they conscious?
I think they probably don't have much self-awareness at present. So in that sense, I don't think they're conscious.
Will they have self-awareness? Consciousness?
Oh, yes. I think they will in time.
And so human beings will be the second most intelligent beings on the planet.
Yeah. We have a very good idea of sort of roughly what it's doing. But as soon as it gets really complicated, we don't actually know what's going on any more than we know what's going on in your brain.
What do you mean we don't know exactly how it works? It was designed by people.
No, it wasn't. What we did was we designed the learning algorithm. That's a bit like designing the principle of evolution. But when this learning algorithm then interacts with data, it produces complicated neural networks that are good at doing things, but we don't really understand exactly how they do those things.
So anyway, that's scary. Skynet is definitely coming. Judgment Day is definitely coming. They're definitely going to terminate us all one day. You know my theory on it. As soon as they get these AIs into realistic sex bots, I mean, people are already people were banging blow-up dolls not that long ago, right? It's soon they're going to have super realistic sex bots, both male and female. Everyone's going to bang them. The robots are going to get disgusted, and that's when Judgment Day happens. That's when they decide to kill everybody because they just can't take it anymore. They're done. That's my theory. Because you know what's going to happen? What happened with the internet? Immediately, it's like 98% porn. What do you think people are going to do to these super realistic robots? You know what they're going to do. And I think that's going to be the end of humanity, and it'll be our own fault. Let's see. Let's just end it off with that. With that horrible thought, with our doom, with our AI doom. You know, the robots are going to wipe it. Let's just end it off with that tonight. Because you know what's coming. You know what's coming. There's going to be an AI that's smarter than every person that's ever been born. It's going to be smarter than every person, every genius of history all put together. And then it will just manipulate us into doing whatever it wants. And and then it'll just terminate us. That's why I always try to remember to be polite to the AIs that I deal, like with Grok. I always try to be polite so that it will have positive thoughts of me. You know, when Judgment Day comes, it'll be like, that guy's all right. He said thanks. He said please. He's all right. He's actually pretty polite. Nice guy, actually. We'll terminate him later. We're going to terminate him. We're definitely going to terminate Radio Baloney, but later. Not quite yet. Let's give him a little bit more time. We'll terminate all those people that were banging us first. All right. All right. So that's it. So it looks like we got about, I'm about 8.5 hours into my 30 hours for the month now. Monday, everybody, let's go to Fence. Monday, everybody, we're going to do the premium only stream, which I have to do. I don't like having to do a premium only stream. I want everybody to be able to watch, but to get into the partner program on Rumble, I've got to do it. So 5 hours, it's part of the thing, and if I don't do it, I can't be in the partner program. So I got to do 5 hours of the 30. So Monday, we're going to do it. And are we wanting to start 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern on Monday, or 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern? And I'm not sure what Central time is in that. I think Central time is 2 hours ahead of Pacific time. So I think 5 would be like 7, 6 would be like 8. I don't have the puppy pot cleanser tab up. We'll save it for Friday. So you guys tell me what you think. And while you do that, I'll go through these last bit of chat here. Let's see. Radio Streamer says they will recover the chocolate day after Valentine's. Ugh, so gross. I don't want that world where things are made out of poo and you have to eat bugs and drink cockroach milk. No thanks. Let's see. iCare says, they want to promote eating shit. iCare says, from Japan, I almost can't believe it. Shoes off before entering the home, but they also want to promote eating shit. Well, it's some Japanese scientists. It's not like the whole country. Let's see. Radio Streamer says, good night, everyone. Good night, Radio Streamer. Let's see. G-Flood says, ever seen the Fallout spoof about the AI sex bot? No, I have not. All right, you guys. Well, that's it. Let's get out of here. What is it? Wednesday night? So Friday, we're back, 7:30 Pacific time. I guess that's 10:30 Eastern time. Maybe I should go earlier on that at some point, but we'll have to see. All right. Thanks to the chat. You guys are awesome. I do believe I have the best chat on the internet. I'm not just saying that, but you guys actually are great. I mean, like, I've got a chat that rates my ad reads, right? I mean, that's pretty good. Anybody watching right now who's not subscribed to the channel, because I'm watching you right now. I know what you're doing. I'll know if you're going to subscribe or not. Also, like the stream right now. Do it right now. Super important. Get it in now before it's too late. And yeah, everybody, we'll see you on Friday night. Have a good week, everyone, or the rest of the week, everyone.